Nighty snoozy snooze.
Who did that? Who did that? Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to the start of another week. But it's grand, right? Where did that weekend go? You're very welcome in, folks. Tonight, we continue on with the rise and fall of Napoleon, our new series. Not very new now, but welcome to part 8. Yes, wait to hear this now. So Napoleon turns away from the bleeding ulcer in Spain and commits himself to a campaign he believes will be short, decisive, and indeed final. What begins as a confident eastward advance soon stretches into a vast continental journey, defined by distance, logistics, and an enemy that refuses to fight on his terms. This episode follows the long road into Russia, through gathering points, forward bases, and ever-deepening territory as momentum replaces caution and certainty takes restraint. Ooh, we're going to a mad place tonight, right? Tonight's fight mirrors that progression. We're going to be taking off from, wait till you hear this, and I'll try and pronounce it correctly, we shall be departing from Uniform Mike, India, also known as Vitebsk, through Uniform, Bravo Charlie, also known as Ugrimovo, right? Brilliant. Then we're heading over to Uniform, Bravo Whiskey, which is Remenskoye, right? We're getting there now. And that's before we arrive on the doorstep of Moscow itself, over at Sheremetyevo. You need to sound... I can't do the Russian. Wait, hang on, I'll get it in my head. I should have done Sean Connery, right? Anyway, uniform, echo, until finally we get down to Vnukovo. Uniform, whiskey. We're going to be flying tonight in the Black Square Beechcraft Starship, an excellent craft, and I haven't flown this in ages. Ages and ages. So that could be a challenge in itself, right? But it should be a bit of crack, this one. This journey defined not by combat, and indeed not by movement scale, this was a turning point. It was conceived that, while the destination itself, being Moscow, would deliver victory. And we need to figure out, well, hang on, you left us in Spain and now we're in, right, so we've a bit of ground to cover in the middle bit. The current kind of temperature of the world back then. There's shapes starting to be, formed, and Napoleon's still very much trying to knock Britain out of any sort of leading role within Europe. He's not going to try any direct combat. He attempted to do that first at sea and failed miserably. And then in Spain, well, the British came in and gave him a good run for his money. So the idea here was to push them out, blockades by, trade wars, as it were. As we learned last week, Portugal, who was trading with Britain, and then even parts of Spain, it started to get very confusing. So tonight, friends, as we fly into Russia, which we haven't done on the channel, it's a long time, we're going to be checking out some of the landscape. We'll see what the weather is doing, because at the moment now, right, it's a bit, isn't it? So we'll have to see what the weather's doing. Nothing like the old Russian winter. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, you're all very welcome in. You're looking well. How was your day? Were you in work? Were you in school? Were you on the DOS? You're very welcome in. You're looking well. Anyway, what are we doing? Flight time is about 2 hours. We've got a couple of stops along the way. We'll see how everything goes. As I said, the aircraft haven't flown this in ages, and it's persistence, state saving. It remembers where I left it off. 2 engines are under pressure on this machine, so I'll have to take a fierce handy look. She's coming for the spin as well. Brilliant. Who else now? Who else? Who's here? Eamon 1973. Very good evening. Hope you're well. Fierce Wolf. Looking fierce and wolfy. Vacuum is in the house. CP65. Good evening. Commander Balosh is here. Welcome aboard. Mrs. TPHI. Ups and down again. Welcome in. Eddie is here. Happy Monday, man. North Coast Mike, good evening. 98 Vulcan, hope you're well. Viper Strike arriving into LA. Ooh, nice. Toto 2495. A very happy Monday to you, Toto. Spitfire RAF 100 is in the chat. A very happy Monday to you. Super Typhon is here. Sup? Toto. Indeed, all the emotes. Yes, brilliant. Flipper Alloy is here, 51 months. Cheers, man. That's insane support. Thank you very much. Chalks, good evening. Captain Sickbag from the sunny southeast, where it's 7 degrees in Tipperary. 7, that's all. But yes, Kill Switch, good evening. Gibbo Ireland is in the chat. Happy Monday, Gibbo. Hope you're well, man. Norse Viking, good evening. Garg Gaming, hello to all in County Galway. You're looking well. 2 Dogs is here. Help, everyone. No, hello, everyone. Good to see you, 2 Dogs. Sumner is here. He says, good evening, Murph. How did the painting go over the weekend? No, we did all right. Painting complete. Yes. Do you know what I've realised, though? So do you know the corners where I painted, but there's cracks now after forming? And it's because I went like that with the brush. I should have went like that, but I went like that. I'll figure it out. It's grand. I'll use filler or something. It'll be totally fine. We won't panic. But yes, Hermit Something, very good afternoon. From Boston, hope you're well. Crafty Tigers is here. Robert J56, good evening. The Impossible Face, hello. Febro is here, good evening. Crackers in the chat, welcome aboard. Wills, 1985, a very happy Monday to you. APU Inspector's here. We know it is the weekend. Oh wait, before we know it, the weekend is back. That's what we're hoping for, You're very welcome in. DK Funfly is here. Stick Figure, good evening. Stu Snape, welcome in, man. Hope you're well. Malky Mac is in the house. Mr. TPHI, you're very welcome in, sir. Some Jammers here. New speakers, and you're a little loud now. Oh, be Janey then. Good man, some Jammer. Yorkshire, good evening. Apache's in the house. McManser, good evening. Daddy Plump is here. Creo, hello to all in County Mayo. Hope you're well. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, happy Monday. Chris Van Halen, good evening. UTB 640. welcome to the start of the week. Hope you're well, man. AZ Blue Line then with a Prime subscription, 48 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. The numbers, they're getting higher, aren't they? With the Janie. Flyer 10, indeed. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Nighthawk is in the house. Kozaki Flyer, good to see you, buddy. Strap21, hola. Who else come in the door here now? PS Mirandai. Hello there. Welcome in, buddy. Muse fan bursts in the door, holding a door. Happy Monday, man. Hope you're well. Where is this now? Haven't fired up the sim yet. Grand. Mac Vision, good evening. Who else come in the door here now? Nutty Slack, welcome in, buddy. Hope you're well. Old Veteran 965. Scott, a very happy Monday. Hope you're well. Egged Barley is here. 58 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Good to see you. Chuck is in the house. Welcome in. My weekend was not a sleeper. Oh, Janie. El Barto, good evening. Hope you're well. What did you... Oh, yeah. Were you flat out with the cadets this weekend, Scott? Right. Mrs. Toto was here. Hello, Mr. Murph, and happy Monday. Well, hello, Mrs. Toto. You're very welcome in. It's good to see you. Swap, mistake. Whose mistake? If it's not working now, I would bring my Piaggio P180. If you weren't working now, you poor old Divilla. Culkin, good evening. Grey Dog is in the house. Welcome in. I was in the middle of watching your latest video when I went live, says CP. Well, you're very welcome in. And thanks for watching. You're very kind. Keen Lafford is in the house. A very good evening to you, Keen. Welcome aboard. Willow How Much is here. Good evening. Krabby1, welcome in. Kanzui. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, man. Thank you for the co-pilot change tip, says Kozaki. Not at all. Max Stallion, good evening. Cy120 is here. Welcome in. Uniform Goose. Good day, Goose. Happy Monday, man. DeRuiter is here. Welcome aboard. Soaring AJ. AJH, man. You're looking well. Idle Cutoff is here. Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Proby Pete is here. Good day from Arizona. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're having a great day. Let me see here now. Kep Kira is here. Heisenberg has rambled aboard. Good to see you, buddy. Who else came in the door? Commander Balash says, model matching is going to be bananas again tonight. You're in a bell. A bell? Oh, right. Sure, listen. At least I got the two rotors right. Bell Bro, good evening. Kanzui says, thought for this evening, if a word is misspelt in the dictionary, how would we know? How would we know? Who's the author of said dictionary? Is it the Oxford Dictionary? Is it the Irish Leitrim Dictionary? Very insightful questions, Kanzui. Yes, yes. Let me see here now. Sky Rider, good to see you. Happy Monday, man. Stu says, quick question. What is FSU IPC and or ProSim? My MobiFlight is saying they aren't connected, so not sure my profiles are working as expected. Well, FSU IPC is a way in order to connect to SimConnect, effectively. It uses outside programs to talk to FSU IPC, and then it goes away and talks to the SIM. ProSim, unsure. Grimmy, good to see you. Who's this now? Work Able, welcome in. Quokka is here. Victorious, a very happy Monday. Who's this now? Mac and Dad, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be chaos, isn't it? So if I'm connected to SimConnect, it should be fine. Yeah, I don't know what the ProSim is, Stu. But yeah, if you're using it for like MobiFlight, you should be golden. Sci Voltage is here. Dangers, high voltage. Welcome in. The Limbics. Very happy morning to you. Good morning. He's in the future. What's the weather doing over your neck of the parish? I'm heading over there in a few months. Super Monkey, good evening. Atlas is in the house. Black Sheep Jean, good day. Walk like an Egyptian, he says. Yes. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome back, Dave. Good to see you, man. Kubi Montana's in the house. Shaven Wookie. For true immersion, we need to watch this while either too hot or freezing. Indeed, of 12 people who left on this campaign, 7 were killed by weather illness, 2 were captured, and only 2 got home. Huh? There was a lot more than that. But anyway, let me see. Mart Roberts, good to see you. Ubuntu is here. Howdy. Wrong way. Good evening. 555 GTA. Playing via an iPad tonight with cloud gaming. Ooh, nice. Nice one. What's a good plane for tonight? First option. If you're on default, go with maybe the TBM 930. Should be a good old shout. Stevie B is in the house. Good evening from sunny Tenerife. You're very welcome aboard. Aviator 1, good evening. S. Boylaw, welcome in. Hope you're well, lads. You're very welcome, and well, thank you so very much indeed for tuning in this evening as we try to plan a bit of flying. A Leitrim dictionary, a very scary thought. Right, I'm Pierce, good evening. Peter's in the house. Peter. ProSim is expensive home cockpit stuff. Yeah, I was thinking that. Let me see now. Fetituda, good evening. Flying Trits, a very good evening, and I hope you're well. Right, we'll jump into this. This is going to be... Oh, I'm at there. Right. Good start already. Right. I'm over here now. Oh, gee, Janie then. Right. So here we are with our airplane completely frozen over. But don't worry, friends. Don't worry. We will sort this mess out here now in just a moment. I only noticed the on-air sign. Is that an aircraft pun? Do you like my on-air sign? It's been there for, you know, a long time. But yes. Where did I get that? Gibbo got me that, I think. I was like, do you know what I'd love? And then he just appeared it, because he's a legend. Just Roy, good evening. Hope you're well. You got my like, so stop arguing with me. Gene. Zappel, good evening. Hope you're well. Boylaw says, sadly, I won't be flying with us all tonight. No worries, man. We'll see you on the next one. Oct2U, welcome aboard. Great name. Hope you're well. Mark Swan, hope you're well also. Co-Brain is here. Hello. Surviving the Apocalypse, good evening. Let me see here now. Transformers, robots in disguise. Indeed, indeed. So this is going to be a barrel of laughs, this thing, right? So what we do on these kind of Monday night series, we mix a bit of everything really in with aviation, and that could be, you know, historic stuff that we're doing tonight, or some of the other Monday night series that we've done, such as, you know, the World Wonders, Natural World Wonders, Coffee Run, River Run, you know, famous trains, all this kind of stuff. So we kind of do it in two parts. We focus on the aircraft to get it up and running, right? And there's quite a bit to get up and running with the Beechcraft Starship. Such a very unique and iconic aircraft. We're completely frozen over, by the way. Yeah, we're going to have a job to de-ice this. And, well, once all that's done, the plan is get airborne, and then we can cover some of our story whilst in the air. So that's the plan, you see. Do you know if there's a way to get Microsoft Flight Sim to automatically update the tail number in the sim of the plane that you have selected? Captain Noodle, yes, if you go into where you select your aircraft and then go into configure, go across to identity, and there you go. Nice to see the Starship warming up again. This is an excellent aircraft. Not many people fly it, or not enough people fly it, in my opinion. It can scare you off a little bit, but I promise you it is an excellent simulation of this aircraft. And Black Square did an amazing job here, do you know? So, insane stats, but it's true. Yeah. Oh, wait, so for every 12, only 2 made it, says Shaven Wookie. That's what you meant. Okay, you see, I forgot about the total number, you see. What time are we flying at, Murph? So the time of day, now I'm going to have to play this one by ear, lads. I have it set to 12:30 daytime, but we'll have to wait and see what the weather's going to do, because it should be clearing up a little bit during the day, but we'll see. Right, we'll have to see what happens. So we're going to jump inside and let's get this machine up and running. So we can see we're completely frosted over. Great start, Murphy. Now, what options do we have? We do have external power, so we're going to remove our control lock. And before we go, I need to, like, how does one remember how to fly this, right? So we do have some stuff here. We have battery generator. We have external power, Gentize. We have our avionics blower. Shouldn't have to worry about cooling, I would think. We have our integrated avionics, our ECAS pilot and co-pilot. Then we have a standby gyro, amongst other things. And we have 2 turboprop engines, so we'll have to mind these as best we can. And they're an idle cutoff. Prop can go to full. And before we do anything else, we're going to remove the wheel chocks, the pitot covers, the engine covers, and indeed the gear pins. If you don't do that, we're going to be absolutely shagged, you see. So I have this Starship, but I've yet to get it in the air. Malky, this is an exception, like the depth of simulation with this aircraft. All the circuit breakers work. I mean, even for your nav data, you have to stick in the old reliable 3.5-inch floppy disk, and you'll hear the disk. Like, there's people who don't even know what these are. What is that? That was all the rage, you know, back in the day. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun starting up this machine. So we need to start it up. So we're going to start off at the very beginning. Get these prop handles out the way. Standby pumps. let me see, main external power. So we're going to connect our external power. We'll hear the Jenny start up outside, right? And we've red lights here. Gross weight. We're probably a little bit... We're okay for takeoff. We wouldn't be great for landing, I think. Although our centre of balance seems to be way off. Hang on, these need to be emptied. Why is there like 1,400 pounds of baggage? Let me see, pilot and co-pilot. We'll just go with ourselves and then carry plenty of fuel. That looks better. So before we do anything, we need to make sure that we have, you know, sufficient electricity coming into the aircraft. And it's not a case of, yeah, there's power. If we turn on our standby stuff, right? What we're trying to do here is, our standby stuff is going to come alive. But if we come over here to external power, right? Let me see, turn on our main battery. We're going to be checking what the load is. 28.1 volts, that's what we need versus our standard battery. So if we go and look at our main battery, 26 on our battery and 28.1 on the external power. So it's not fluctuating. If that GPU was fluctuating and you turned it on, she'd break. You could blow circuit breakers and whatnot. So we're now running on our external power, right? And before we go any further, we need to check all of our circuit breakers. Each and every single circuit breaker on this aircraft is modelled and is built into failures. And also mean time between failures is actually coded based on data that NASA has. There's a depth of simulation here, lads, you're probably not familiar with, you know. Where is this now? Anomalous signal station frequencies and so on. So in terms of the the brains of this computer, right? We need to turn on some screens. So we'll get our ECAS on. And you're going to hear all the avionics fans starting to come alive. They'll be making noises and all this here now in a moment as well, right? So what else do you want to do? Inertial separators, they will be coming into play for this. We can also get on our de-ice equipment because we're on ground power, right? So windshield high, cockpit or co-pilot high, right? De-icer. So control standby no, pitot and static heat, put them on, right? Engine actuators, vent, wing, inboard, outboard, everything set to auto, and then we have our surface in here as well, right? So that's all on normal for the moment, and then we'll figure out what we need to do after that. That should start clearing some of our stuff here. So we'll go ahead and turn on some avionics power into our pilot systems. These take a moment to kind of warm up. Now, there's a lot of systems with this aircraft, but you can kind of bypass them as well. I mean, you can turn things off. You'll see that our engine condition on this aircraft, it's not particularly well, right? And the reason being is I've been a little bit rough with the aircraft. Electrical systems are coming alive. If we look at the cabin temperatures, it's cold as a divil, -8, so we're fairly frozen here. Note, I didn't turn on our avionics blower, for example. All right. Cyrus T, absolute legend. Did you see what he did? 44 months at tier 2. Cyrus, thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. We've heard you have a lot of baggage, emotional baggage. Lear, good to see you. Don Waldy, good to see you. Who else came in the door now? That's a save icon. Yeah. Save icon. That's right, actually. Yeah. Jesus. Didn't know most of the hints. Very cool stuff. Thank you. Thank you very much. PQ, good evening. Hope you're well. Right, now, let's have an out gawk here. Anti-skid will be set to on. And what else do you want to do? Forward manual. I think we need to hold this. Ground de-icer test is on normal. Pilot windshield control, and that's all okay from there. We can also turn on some of our internal heat sources. So let me see. Bleed air. Well, we're not running that at the moment, but we will get our temperatures up. Temperature mode is going to be hot as a divil. And we get some blowers turned on here as well. And what else do I need? That's kind of it for the minute. Right, so systems of the aircraft. So let's have a look. We're going to initialize the system. User expired database. So what we need to do, we need to update the database of the aircraft. Grab our floppy disk, throw it in, and we're going to load this. Update our database, select from drive. You'll see the light flashing and you'll actually hear the drive loading. So flight data, so we can go ahead and horse this in. See the light flashing? It's really, really good, right? So it's doing its stuff there. Engine ignition, prop, auto feather. What else we need over here? That looks pretty good. Fuel temperature is cold. Do we have heater pumps for the fuel? I don't think so. That could be interesting. Okay, so old data, and then we have our new data. We can okay all of that. Update our position. Update position on a lot long, on a waypoint name, VOR, except our current area. Initialize the system, fuel management, and then we have our FMS setup. Then we can look at message over here. Now, we haven't turned these guys on yet, but what I want to do is, we'll get the engine started and get some heat into this machine, you see. So what we're going to do, we're going to close the main cabin door. So if we go to cabin door, we'll go close. All right. And now we're going to go through the process of getting this aircraft up and running. So we're going to put our prop to full. Standby pumps are both going to be engaged. Engine ignition, starters are currently off. Auto feather, and then we have our engine auto arm. So we're going to be going for a start on the right-hand side. Genties are okay, or genties. So ignition coming on here on the right-hand side. We'll also want to get some lights on here as well. And of course, this has the iconic Beechcraft lighting. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? So let me see. No smoking, seatbelts, cabin overhead, cabin aisle. We're going to put our wing nav lights on, and we're going to get our strobe on here as well as our beacon light. I mean, should be able to see some lights coming into play here now. Center, main panel, consoles. What else you want? Pilot displays. Just horse them all on. That should do us. And we're looking good here as well. So we can go ahead and cancel that caution. Who's that devil? Get out of me plane! And we're going to see what happens here now. Auto feather leave off for the moment. Let's have a quick look here. Gens are currently off. And we're going to go for a startup on this machine. So to do so, we engage the starter. Then we monitor our ITT. And we monitor our NG then as well. Right? Let's see what happens. So, let's see. Can't see out the window. Need to get sufficient power into the machine. Easy now. Okay, so N1 is rising. Props coming up. There'll be spinach back there. Oh, that's as fast as she's going to go. Fuel in. Now monitor our ITT for a hot start and our NG for a hung start. 650, that's very cold. And just allow N1 go past 55, which it has. Engine ignition, starter off. And we go ahead and put the right generator on. And if we check the right generator, the load is now coming in. Lovely. And we repeat the process now for the left-hand side. And we're going to keep this in a high idle starting up the left engine, right? We want to check outside. Beautiful sounds. Okay, watching around one. As close or as high as she'll spin. 17 should do her. Fuel in. Now let's keep an eye on the ITT. We're looking for about 6 odd. 670, 687. Was the peak. N1, once we're after 50, disengage the starter. There's 50. Starter off. Auto feather. Arm. Engine sync, not worried about. Our generator's coming on for the left side. Co-pilot power can come in. We're going to disconnect from the ground power and remove it. And the rest of our avionics are all starting to come alive. One thing about this aircraft, why we have so many screens, there are 14 screens. Redundancy was built into every single system because this was so new. This was so out there, man. So what they managed to do, every display has a backup. So if you lose a computer, well, the other one takes over. And you'll see, like, some of the avionics, this isn't just altimeter, as in, you know, here's your altitude. It's also our vertical speed. So we can see a lot of options with this when she starts warming up, right? Now the prop is low, but that's okay because our idle power is low. So I'm just going to put a small bit of power in there. Bleeds can come on. That's all set. Ignition is still on, but we just have it as on armed. Pitot is overheating. Cool them off for the moment. Engine anti-ice, oxygen not armed. So our oxygen system, that's our parking brake. Where was oxygen on this machine again, lads? Here's oxygen. We need to arm the system. I think it's down here. It is. So we have oxygen system. Go ahead and arm that. Oxygen not armed. Is there a way to arm it? Interesting. Are we missing something? Stall warning comes on. Defrost air, pilot air. Pull on, pull on. Pull on. Right, there we go. So icing's detected all over the aircraft, which we know about. So hopefully our screens here are gonna, you know, blast off, right? Top speed and ceiling of the Starship. Oh, top speed and ceiling. Beech Starship. It's such a cool plane. So, we have a maximum speed of 335 knots. It'll cruise at about 300 knots. Its service ceiling, 41,000 feet. For a turboprop? I mean, come on, lads. It's amazing. Amazing. Okay, reset our barrow, reset our direction indicator. And well, we could be waiting a while for this weather to kind of break off our stuff here. Taxi lights come on. Anti-collision lights come on. Easy now. Lights onto the bar. And if you look, oh yeah, we're completely frozen over. Beautiful cabin in here as well. What a machine, right? What a machine. This is close to an airliner engine start rather than turboprop. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Right, what are we after here now? So that looks good. Engine producing heat. Inertial separator are open. You can see the foreign object foreign objects intensity is 2%. That's like snow, ice, all that kind of stuff. So engines are ticking over. Everything looks okay. No failures active, or at least there shouldn't be. Let's reset all failures. And we should be okay there with the tablet. Now, come on down here. Last couple of things. We have our GPS. Channel. We have pitch. This should all be turned to on as default. That's all looking good there. We have our takeoff trim. Easy now. Easy now. Come down the road. Right, in terms of clearing off the old cabin control, we're not going too high, but say 25. Blowers are all on, they're all on. Cabin temperature is very low, but that'll build now in a moment. Pneumatic pressure is good. Shouldn't be really jumping around. Let's go up here and have a quick look to see our canard move. So there is movement there. I wonder, was there a way that we could test or remove ice? You know what I mean? I don't think there's any way to get rid of it. Vent cable, horse them on. Engine actuators are on. Windshield control standby is set to normal. Ground ice test is on normal. So that's, we know they're working because we have a warning for icing, right? Flaps, that's okay. Flight director on. And what else do we have here now? Radios and communications, including we also have our ATC stuff. So let me see, here's our squawk. So we can change the numbers on this by activating everything on this computer in here, including our flight plan, right? Avionic status, this is where it goes absolutely nuts. That's all grand. Go back to index here. Crew notes, normal procedures. Press any line key to continue. Goes through all your checklists, right? If we want to go back to index, we can go now to our radar. And on our radar, we should be able to select additional options from here. So it's currently set to standby. Let me me see, radar, and in here then, FMS data, inspect waypoints, initializer system, all okay. Fuel management is good. FMS, that's all good. Radar control. So we want weather. Let me see, ground clutter, yeah, why not? Ground map, that's all okay. Gain works on this as well. Test mode off, stabilization on, target alert, and auto tilt. That should follow the weather for us. So that's all good. HSI on my left hand screen. And then we're going to be saying it's currently set to localizer. We're going to see can we feed it some GPS information. Let us have a look at this. So we can put our flight plan directly into the computer on board. But in saying that, I'm just a little bit nervous that we've so much ice on the windshield that isn't clearing off. Windshield is definitely on. Main wing inbound manual select. So everything's set to auto. It's just not clearing it yet. Maybe it is starting to clear. We'll give it another few moments. Bit of power in as well. Just make sure everything's running in kind of tip-top temperatures. Do you know what I mean? Tom is in the house. Good to see you. Was this the machine with the floppy disk installed for loading the flight plan? Not necessarily. So what you can do with that floppy disk, it updates the aircraft position, right? But in addition to that, you can actually download information from the aircraft and even send it on to Nick at Black Square. You know what I mean? It's nuts what you can do. So what we're looking for here, we want to go back into our nav source. We're going to call it it's not really FMS1. We can program the FMS, right? So if we go into nav, frequencies, ATC, COM, flight plan, enter route or waypoints. We can add this in manually. We can do it here quickly. Uniform mic, echo, echo. Also the keypad here, you can go to the keypad or you can just click on it. So if we type in here, keyboard, see the little blue light? And if we type in uniform mic, India, India, enter. Okay. Next is going to be over to uniform, Bravo. Uniform, Bravo, Charlie. Enter. Next. After Bravo, Charlie, it's going to be uniform, Bravo, Whiskey. Next. After Bravo Whiskey, it's going to be uniform, Echo, Echo. Okay, that. And then our last one is going to be uniform, Whiskey, Whiskey. Is that right? Yeah. And enter that. Right. So that's all in. End flight plan. We can see our routing here now. We can go to the plan page. Let me see. Radar or arc map. And then we can zoom. Let's have a look. So we can kind of see it here. Radar, HSI, range will do. So we're on FMS. We're going to be following waypoints direct twos, which is fine. All here is grand. All there is grand. Audio, isolated speakers, that's all grand. Bleed air systems are working. Finally, our windscreen has cleared. We have a master caution. Roll pitch, it's not happy with. Double check our controls are free and correct. Nose up. Easy now. Alright, we're looking good there. Alright. Cleared the ice, we're good to go. Taxi lights are on. ATC. So if we go to how do we do this again, Murph? Oh yeah, go to nav, right? ATC, and we can put in our code here. So let's call it 6461. Pop you in 6461. It's now over here. ATC standby. ATC 1. That'll be like what's it called? Squawk mode Charlie, right? Okay, initialize system, leave that one off. We're just going to work off the one here for the moment. HSI is good. We're going to go back in here to nav source. That's okay. Keep the flight plan. Systems page. Auto leg, yes. GPS, grand. FMS or GNS. Position hold, update. Sensors. They even have these, see this Omega. See this Omega stuff here and station selection? I think they had one in Russia. If memory serves me, they had one in Russia. Australia, Washington, Hawaii, Great Britain, Reunion, Norway. These are basically prior to GPS. They used like satellites around the world to give different, like, just nuts. And it's all actually working in this aircraft. It is superb. Right, now that's great news altogether. Off the brakes, watch our power here. Double check our flight controls, everything's working. Quick look left, quick look right. And we'll very easily start our taxi. Watch the beta. And you pretty much taxi this thing in beta, you know what I mean? So, quick look here on Navigraph. We want to be taking off the opposite direction, so it's going to be 05 we're looking for, lads, I would think. Although the winds are very calm, we might get away off 23. We'll do that. We'll blast off out of runway 23 and we'll swing around to the right to get some sights here, right? So don't mind me mad taxiing. I can assure you all as well. Jeez, we've got a lot of planes here, man. This is awesome. So there is a bit of a taxiway here that we shouldn't be going on, but sure, listen, it's grand. We rang ahead and they said, Murph, no bother at all. I want to go for the slightly longer runway, in which we need to go right. Is it? Yeah, we need to go right to get to this. Or we just go straight across. We'll go left. We'll say nothing, it'll be fine. The avionics overheating. I doubt very much they're overheating. We can have a quick check here on our tablet. Go to the cabin. 90 Fahrenheit. It's not very hot. Once we get airborne, it'll actually cool it off. Right? Hey, got a nice mentor with us there, look. Alright. Now the Starship, this also flies really different as well. The flight modelling dialed into it. It takes a little bit of learning. Relatively easy to pick up and go fly in, but it can take a little bit of learning to kind of master it. I'm far from that mastering part, you know. So, let's see what happens here now, lads, right? So we'll let our way forward, nice and handy. Some Boris Audio Works here for our sounds. All right, engine sitting on idle. We're going to say heading mode. Now I want to zero the heading. We're also going to put in some altitude. We're going to call it 4,000 feet. We'll call it 5,000 feet. Push. Altitude select. Bearing and barrow. Now we can... Oh, that's for hundreds. Vertical speed. We're just going to tell it, hi, we want about 1,500 feet on our vertical, right? And when it comes to our heading, I want to lock in our heading, which is this button here. So that's going to be fly the runway heading, right? Then everything when it comes to autopilot, I'm going to say heading mode is on, and we're going to go by vertical speed because I've already horsed that in there. So hopefully all of this now works and we don't end up in a terrible mess wondering, you know. So, watch your power, accelerate. You don't want to over-torque the engine. That's pretty good. Auto feather is reacting. Airspeed alive. Ice warning light once again, but we're okay. Alright, there's our speed building up. We're looking about 110 here. Slowly getting there. That caution light is just telling us that there's ice. 95. There's 100. Easy back in the easy. Positive rate. Canard in. Alright, bit of trim. Clear the caution. It's only letting us know that there's ice detected. We know there is. Alright, autopilot. Now we want our vertical speed. Up the hill, please. Whenever you're ready, plane. Really? Autopilot off, we'll climb ourselves. That's strange, she didn't like the old vertical speed. Bit of trim. Jesus, we nearly hit some Russian trees. Where were they Russian? Ah, they weren't, they were walking slowly. Oh. Okay. Easy now. Bit of climb. And there's autopilot, so wait, VS, there you go, you big Aegis. So we've set VS of, ease it up, we'll go 2000. Climb is good, power is good, and we are on heading mode. So we said we're going to spin over to the right hand side, get a look at some of the scenery. That is what we'll do. Heading over to the right we go. 300. Jesus, look at the ice on the plane. Isn't it very pretty? Absolutely gorgeous. Right, watch our speed as we're doing this now. We need to ease off our vertical speed. Bring it back down to maybe 800 feet a minute. Power settings seem okay. Let that speed regain. Let's have a look at Navigraph here. So we're going to spin around over to the right hand side and then continue on. 1,000 feet to go. I don't know, will we break out through this weather? We could be lucky. We could be lucky. Linny is here. Good to see you. Welcome in. Okay, another right turn coming in. Let's call this one 360. Hopefully we can break the clouds here. At 4,000 feet, that's, or 5,000 feet, that's the hope. So while we're doing this, and it all looks terribly confusing, well, if you're flying along, Xbox pilots press 1, if you're on the PC it's 2, JoinFS pilots press, not JoinFS, Skynet press number 3, and if you're absolutely blown away by the level of complexity on this in aircraft, well sure, listen, I'm impressed as well, you press number 4. Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream Monday to Friday, 2000 Zulu time, right here. All right. Where is Skynet? You're still using JoinFS? No bother, Kozaki. We'll get that turned on for you. Where is this now? MSF or MFS 2020. Hi there. Do you know why nameplates are not showing up in multiplayer? You need to press a button for them. Boeing Avgeeks, thank you very much indeed. Cheers, man. Right, let's have a look here. So we are needing to follow nav mode now. So if we arm nav, she should follow it. There she goes. And we should now follow along our flight plan here. If we bring this out a bit, there we go. Map incomplete, reduce range. It's so good, this plane, man. It is so good. Okay, so pretty much after takeoff, how is everything looking? I imagine our pedo, we're now -4. We're going to put these guys back on. And landing lights and all the jazz, we'll horse those off. And everything else is looking good. Now, in terms of our visuals, I don't know what we'll do with the weather. Do you know? It looks absolutely insane, though, doesn't it? Look at that view, lads. Jesus. Look at that. That's stunning, man. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? The lighting especially, man. That's absolutely gorgeous. The old Starship. Right, quick check on everything. So, engine conditions are the main ones. We're looking at our torque and also our prop. Let's bring up our visualizers here to make sure we're not, you know, completely shagging it. Right, let's have a look. There's a lot of foreign object stuff, so we need to keep an eye on that. Our speed is quite high. How we know we're going high? Do you see the shake on our canard? See the way it's vibrating and shaking along there? That's an indication of high speed. So our left engine, not great. Right engine, not as bad. Now, even if you do, you know, babysit this airplane, if you're super gentle with it, the engine condition will still run down because it's wear and tear, right? I mean, the engine itself, it's wearing itself out, right? So we need to be careful with it. So, how is our speed looking at this power? I'm going to ease off the power a little bit, lads, because we're booting it. So I'm going to bring everything back down into the blue range. Or teal. Cyrus should be happy with that. And ease it all off. And that's where the engine is going to be most happy. Engines are going to be most happy, right? It's also going to help Greta there with the old Janie then fuel efficiency. Do you know? So our speed will filter back a little bit. You can see now that we've calmed everything down. It's not as shaky and as rattly in the aircraft, which is nice, right? So we should now be planning to make a bit of a left turn to follow directly onto this magenta line, right? So I'm just going to wait for that to engage as we're looking at some of this scenery, which we'll get a glimpse of what's on the ground as well. And I gotta say, man, it's stunning. A lot of where we're flying, though, I mean, there's no photogrammetry out this neck of the woods. It's kind of like your default standard scenery, but it is nice. It's pretty. I mean, look at this view here. Like, that's just gorgeous, isn't it? Like, that's stunning. Okay, so nav is now rolling the aircraft left. This all appears to be doing exactly what we wanted to do. The main thing here is we want to mind the engines. Now, don't let this aircraft scare you off. You can turn off all the damage and the fader systems if you just want to fly the thing to learn it. It invites you to learn it. There's so much depth to it, though. It's incredible. It really is. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm a huge fan of this plane, man. I think it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So we have notes and, well, things to learn. So let's get to it and let's see what happens. So, the campaign that broke the spell, 1812. This is part 8, and it's all about Russia. Napoleon entered 1812 with an empire that looked complete on paper, but was already starting to fail in practice. The continental system, the economic siege designed to starve Britain into submission, was cracking everywhere. Smuggling was endemic. Even his own family bent the rules when it suited them. But Russia was the critical fault line. At Tilst in 1807, Alexander had agreed to join the blockade without truly accepting what it would cost. Russia's economy depended on trade, and the blockade hurt Britain, yes, of course it did, but it strangled Russia too. By 1810, 1811, the arrangement was collapsing. Russia loosened enforcement, then effectively abandoned the blockade. Napoleon interpreted this not as a policy dispute, but as a challenge to the order that he had built. If Russia could defect and survive, well, then the continental system was finished, and with it, the idea that Napoleon could dictate Europe's behaviour without firing a shot. So, he chose the shot. He assembled the largest army Europe had ever seen. It was a multinational machine of French veterans and even reluctant conscripts from across his empire and allied states. It looked unstoppable. but its size was also its curse. It consumed everything around it and demanded a logistics system that simply could not function at Russian distances, on the Russian roads, against Russian strategy. Napoleon was gambling the momentum that would solve the problem. So, the Niemen. In 1812, June, Poland became the point of concentration. Danzig was turned into a vast depot. Supplies were forward positioned at Königsberg, and the Emperor rode with urgency, dictating dispatches late into the night, and after failed diplomatic messages to Alexander, he concluded the moment had passed. He framed the invasion the way he had framed the war. It was a necessity, honour and destiny. In a proclamation to his troops, Napoleon declared, "Soldiers, let us cross the Niemen and carry the war into her own territory." Alexander replied in a very different tone, as restrained, moral, and deliberately defensive. He said, "The Emperor of France, or of the French, has been the first to declare war. Warriors, you defend your religion, your country, and your liberty. God is against the aggressor." Two empires, two narratives, and one unavoidable fact. Once the Grand Army crossed the Niemen, the campaign could only be ended by victory, collapse, or winter. Practically the whole effective force, somewhere between 400,000 and 600,000 at the outset, crossed at multiple points. Devout's corps moved first, and Convo fell with little difficulty. It all looked like the beginning of another Austerlitz, another typical Napoleon, unbeatable, striving forward. One historian captured the spectacle in language so confident it reads like a prophecy written in ignorance. The magnificent array, the universal enthusiasm, the shining cuirassiers crossing the river, and then the chilling line that matters most. If anyone had foreseen the shattered remnants that would return months later, it would have seemed too dreadful for any human powers to accomplish. But that catastrophe didn't begin with snow. It began with the distance. The first cracks appeared almost immediately. Roads that dissolved into mud, storms in high summer, villages deserted, food removed, wells were spoiled, cattle driven away, and the land itself was being emptied ahead of Napoleon. That wasn't by any accident, that was the design. Captain Le Bohème, marching with Eugene's corps, described the sensation of crossing into a different world. Forests were gloomy, villages abandoned, rain turning roads into graveyards of dead horses and overturned wagons. In a march of 50 miles, he noted, 10,000 horses succumbed. Jesus. This matters more than it sounds. Horses weren't just decorations, they were the engine of movement. Cavalry, artillery, supply, even ambulance. When the horses died, the army's speed died with it. And when speed died, Napoleon's whole method died with it. Still, the Russians refused the battle Napoleon needed. Barclay, the Tully, and also the Bagration retreated again and again, pulling the French deeper into an empty country. Further from their depots, further from their forage, further from sanity. Napoleon's war machines, built for rapid annihilation, were being baited into becoming a slow, starving procession. Russia could afford to wait. Napoleon could not. And this was the tactic of Russia. They didn't have to meet him straight away at their borders, not at all. Russia is vast, and this has repeated itself over the centuries. When it comes to Russia, the landmass is absolutely massive. They can afford to take their time. The very same thing happened during the Second World War. This should be live weather. This is live weather. Looks kind of mad, doesn't it? Where is this now? So, Vilna, right? The temptation of Poland. Napoleon entered Vilna on the 28th of June. Here the campaign briefly felt easily. Polish and Lithuanian elites greeted him with the language of liberation. Delegations arrived hungry for one word: independence. But Napoleon wouldn't give it. He needed Austria and Prussia compliant. He needed his alliance system to be intact, so instead of declaration, he offered vague promises. Enough to inflame enthusiasm, but not enough to bind them. The Poles still committed heavily. Tens of thousands of troops would serve during the campaign, but the episode is revealing. Napoleon wanted the political energy and nationalism without paying its full price, which it worked until it didn't. The operational opportunity that mattered most was starting to slip away. Napoleon tried to separate and crush Barclay and Bagration before they could join in. Jerome moved too slowly too, and Devout was furious. Napoleon was furious. The Russians managed to escape and linked up at Smolensk. There was a decisive battle. Nothing major happened. By the time Napoleon reached Vitebsk, where we just overflew, he already lost enormous numbers through hunger, sickness, exhaustion, straggling, and also horse attrition. Officers urged him to stop for the winter and set up camp. Napoleon said no. He would march to Moscow. So Smolensk, we're flying very close to that in a while. That was attacked in mid-August. Heavy fighting followed, and then as the French entered, smoke thickened and the city began to burn. Within hours, Smolensk became a devastated carcass. French eyewitnesses described the streets littered with dead and dying, flames throwing a horrible glare over bodies, churches becoming shelters for civilians who had lost everything. The army marched into the interior of the town in a grim triumph. Rich with spoils, still imagining victory, while the conquered stood outside of their homes without shelter. And after all, once again, the Russians withdrew. Napoleon had won a city that was no longer usable. There was nothing to do there. Everything was gone, taken, destroyed, set on fire. What could he do? He hesitated. He knew it was going wrong, but he couldn't accept that stopping now would be interpreted as failure. Not by Europe, not by his allies, not by himself. Sorry, would be interpreted as failure. So he gets all this way, the Russians still retreating, not facing any major sizable force in the field. Keep pulling back all the way. And every time the Russians are doing this, the French are overstretching. They're losing men, they're losing horses, they're losing equipment, they're running down supplies. They're really starting to drag this out. And the Russians are too aware of this. They're too aware of this, So, he hesitated, knowing that if he stopped now, it would be interpreted as a failure. You only got as far as Smolensk and nothing was there, and your campaign in Russia, sit down. So what did Napoleon do? He pushed on. Public opinion inside of Russia was also boiling. The retreats were seen as a humiliation. Barclay the Tolly was replaced by Kutuzov, old, experienced, politically acceptable, and careful enough to keep the long strategy intact: absorb, retreat, bleed the invader, then strike. On the 7th of September, Napoleon reached Borodino. He reportedly looked at the rising sun and said, "It is the sun of Austerlitz." The line is famous and indeed tragic, because Borodino was not Austerlitz. It was not a manoeuvrable battle. It was a frontal collision, a 12-hour grind with both sides feeding men into the furnace. The fighting was savage. Redoubts taken and retaken, generals wounded everywhere, and Bagration was mortally injured. The French captured key positions, but they didn't destroy the Russian army. Napoleon did not commit the Imperial Guard, his last reserve. Historians have argued about this ever since. Some say it was the prudence at 800 leagues from Paris. Others say the reserve was the only thing that might have turned victory into annihilation. Either way, Borodino achieved one operational result. After fighting directly with Russia, this now opened the road to Moscow. But it also did something else. It burned through the very manpower Napoleon would need to survive a retreat. We'll continue on with that in a while. But from me notes, right, that kind of, I won't say classical, but it's the Russian way, at least back then, whereby advance, Small conflict, small skirmish, withdraw. And they had this like scorched earth policy as well. They'd leave nothing there. Remember, Napoleon, he was all about speed. He didn't necessarily want all these supply wagons and supply trails. He didn't want that. He wanted his army to move fast. And that was his thinking. It was decisive. Move in quickly, strike quickly, and then that's it. That's the way he's operated for the past 15, 20 years. Russia was so very, very different because you just can't operate fast. The country is so vast. It is massive. And to give you just even a small idea, even of our flight plan tonight, to which we are travelling a fair whack of mileage, right? I mean, 200, we're doing about 320 kilometres tonight. And just to give you an idea, we're not even scratching the surface. I mean, Russia could, I mean, hello, like, from here all the way across. The landmass is absolutely massive. Now, you could say, well, a lot of Russia isn't inhabited in. You know, people don't live there. It's too extreme, right? Parts of Siberian winters and all this sort of jazz. But when you look at the populated areas, and even when you draw in, you know, the location of, let's say, kind of St. Petersburg, Moscow, and then you start deepening in a little bit further, I mean, the country is massive. Plus the resources that they have available and their population really kind of takes the whole thing into perspective. Now, we can't see much here at all, hey. So, what are our options, lads? Do we climb or do we drop? We're currently doing 225 knots. There is a cloud layer above us, so why don't we climb? So let's see, we're going to select altitude. I suppose we'll go 6.5. Let's go 6,500. Let's go vertical speed. Call it 1,000 feet a minute. And we'll come down here now to vertical speed. That's IAS, Murph. Vertical speed. Up the hill we go. And let's see what happens. We do have IAS mode, meaning that the aircraft will follow a particular kind of climb path until we get where we need to and maintain speed. It'll adjust its pitch so it doesn't kind of stall out, but we're carrying enough speed here. Jay Winniker's here. Good to see you, man. Jesus, 15 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. My lovely horse, right? Brilliant. Has anyone seen Gibbo? I'd say Gibbo's washing his hair now tonight when it comes to this stuff. Okay, so 208, 209. Let's see where... we've got 1,000 to go. Let's see, can we break out of the clouds here? Engines are still okay. There's a... oh, look at the state of that. Yes! So there is a cloud layer we're trying to do, right? Ask the other corporal how big Russia is. Yeah. Like, it's a defence mechanism. Like, if you look at the likes of, say, Great Britain in particular, the island, right? The English Channel has protected the island for centuries. Centuries, right? The United States, as it is now, I mean, it's got an ocean on either side. Closest continents, north or south. So they use the national kind of, you know, geography, as with any military strategy. I mean, you use the ground, right? Captain Noodle says, do you have a Wing MCDU? Is it possible to use it for a Boeing? Yes. Not out of the box, though. In fact, funny, Gibbo actually got his working the other day, or the other week, by using SPAD.next. And he was able to use that equipment to work in a Boeing aircraft, which is, like, nuts, you know. It's pretty cool, right? We're at 6.5. We're kind of surfing. Okay, there's a whole lot of weather now on the way. This isn't going to bode well. It's grand. There's nothing to worry about at all. Although, Janie, then, doesn't it look absolutely gorgeous? Do we have tunage here? I think we do. This could be interesting. Wait now. Ah, yes. Some tunage. So our final destination tonight it is indeed Moscow. Our plan is to overfly the city, have a look at all the sights. an incredible aircraft to be in, right? You've ordered one, but you weren't sure. That's, yeah, makes sense, makes sense. $1,500 feet is fine too. There's lots of trees. Ooh. Jeez, it looks gorgeous, lads, doesn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. Mark Swan says, Murph, have you seen the guy who's making a plane into a bunker man cave? I did. Again, Gibbo sent me the link of it. It looked fantastic. Isn't it such a cool looking plane? You either like it or you don't really care for it. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very good. The design was just light years ahead of its day. And yet, in saying that, this Canard design, I mean, a Canard design, the Wright Flyers flew with a Canard design aircraft. Right? Which is nuts. American plane, right? Haven't broken too much, Dougal. You're very welcome in, buddy. Now, as much as I like kind of bad weather, we're gonna have to get creative here because we can't see a shagging thing, right? So if there's no immediate Bejani, then wait, hang on. Pause. You went live time, you muppet. Custom time of day was back around, I don't know, 1 o'clock-ish. Easy now, Jemima. A few clouds kind of works. Keep plenty of snow on the ground. Throw in a bit of precip just to make it look interesting. Right. So a few clouds with a bit of messing going on. Check your temperatures. They're all looking good. What is the temperature actually in the machine? Let's double check. I like the Starship. It's the Aerostar I don't like. You don't like the Aerostar? What? What's wrong with the Aerostar? We'll go slightly high pressure. There we go. Love this plane. Haven't flown it in a while. It's so unique. It really is. It's a very belongs in space look. Very much so. Why didn't it work? Too expensive? Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know how many of these are left flying today. Get a load of this, right? Beech only sold 11 Starships in the 3 years following its certification. They attributed the slow sales to the economic slowdown of the late 1980s, the novelty of the Starship, and the tax on luxury items that was in effect in the United States at the time. However, reasons for the lack of demand probably included the price, performance, and economic conditions. The list price in 1989 was $3.9 million, which back then was very similar to a Citation 5 and the Lear 31, which were 89 and 124 knots faster than the Starship at maximum cruise, respectively. The Piper Cheyenne turboprop was faster and sold for $1 million less. To stimulate demand, Beechcraft began offering 2-year leases on new Starships in 1991. One of the Starships actually appeared in the opening scenes of Murder, She Wrote, the series episode Terminal Connection. The last Starship, NC-53, produced in 1995. In 2003, Beechcraft said that supporting such a small fleet of airplanes was cost prohibitive, and it began scrapping and incinerating the aircraft under its control. The aircraft was sent to Evergreen Air Center, located up in Arizona, for destruction. Beechcraft worked with owners of privately owned Starships to replace the airplanes with other Beechcraft aircraft, such as the Premier 1 jet. In 2004, Raytheon, Beech parent company, sold off its entire inventory of Starship parts to a Starship owner for a fraction of its real value. There was something mad about this now. Wait, to do with the price, right? In 2003, Evergreen Air Center sold 8 Starships back to private owners for $50,000 each. Most are being used for parts. However, one of these aircraft has since been made airworthy again, and some former Starship parts have been used on the Epic turboprop kit plane. As of 2010, 9 Starships held an active registration. September 2020, only 6 Starships were airworthy, and I think there's only 4 still flying to this day. Watch your speed there, Ted. Imagine, lads, these were sold for 50 grand. 50 grand, and they used to be $3.9 million, right? I mean, if you had 50 grand, would you go off and buy a Starship? Just to kind of keep it at home, right? I know I would. Imagine a Starship sitting out in your back garden. I'm going out to play in my Starship. There's flying teapot with us. Whoa, we got a load of people with us. Look at this. Nice. No, because you want to fly it. A Starship or a kitchen. I don't know, lads. I mean, you know. I mean, look at the cut of the thing. You'd live in this, sure. Well, you nearly would. You'd have to connect it to ground power every now and again. Right? I tell you, you'd build one hell of a simulator out of it. Imagine a fully fledged simulator of a Beech Starship. I reckon the plane would be more popular if you could fold away the wings a bit. It's so wide. Energizer, good to see you, buddy. It is so wide. This thing is massive. It's a huge wingspan. Right, we can actually see the ground. This is beautiful. It's just miles upon miles upon miles of kind of nothingness. It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, but it's something like going to a boneyard and buying that cheap. Sure. Oh man, I'd love one. If anyone's in America now and they have their hands on one of these, just send one over to Ireland. I'll take good care of it, you know, I'll mind it. Your first house cost you $52,000. You could have bought a Starship. You got point proven. You see, it would have been, well, maybe not better, but like, you know, you'd have been happy. Yeah, happier. Right, let's get an owl look here on the owl Mapation. We're over this neck of the woods. We had charts until that's interesting. We had charts over at Vitebsk. I don't know how you pronounce all these places. There's Smolensk. We learned about that there. And then our first stop is down here. Kaluga Grabstevo. It's pretty mad, lads. Class as a large ship when it's simply too wide to be a medium. QC Frank, there you go. You can get 2 Starships. Yep. Like, I'm so happy this is in the sim. I just think, like, aircraft like this, I mean, they're fascinating, right? When you learn about the story. But then when you see the airplane, I mean, this was so far ahead of its time. This was so advanced, right? And I even remember the trailer that came out with this aircraft. It was like 1980s Miami kind of vibe. Oh, man, it was brilliant. You do see the odd one flying on VATSIM. I need to start flying this friggin' thing on VATSIM. That's a great shot there with the citation look. But what do we have here? We have a little plaque down here, look. So Bert Rutan, he designed this aircraft, but he also designed a number of others, right? Voyager was the first non-stop flight around the world. The Global Flyer, the first solo non-stop flight around the world. Spaceship One, the first commercial human space flight. Strato launch, the largest wingspan aircraft ever flown, is a Proteus, the altitude record aircraft under 12,500 pounds. The Beech Starship, the first composite business aircraft. And then you've ever heard of the Long EZ? Home-built Canard aircraft, the Long EZ. In our age of convenience and comfort, there are few opportunities to experience the harrowing stories of exploration and survival, once common among sailors, pilots and astronauts. For those of us who wish to push the envelope of what is possible and shed a tear of respect upon the shoulders of the giants who inspire us, the many legacies of Burt Rutan surely stand among the greatest adventures of man and machine. Pretty cool, right? 420 the Moose, good to see you. It's called The Wheel. If you put in an exclamation point wheel, Rambach Moore developed this, and it works with Parallel 42's flow. Yeah, the Long EZ had a super long range for its class. Yeah, it's in the same India Fox Deco. Do you remember the Flying Fabio? Remember Fabio? His dad flew a Long EZ. In fact, I think he had an accident in it. He was okay though. But he flew he had a Long EZ. Man, look at the view there. It's a friggin' gorgeous machine. These kind of weird aircraft, I mean, you either love them, as I said, or you don't care so much. I love this thing. I think it's gorgeous. I think the design, the shape, everything about it, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's not going to do well necessarily on short takeoff or landings, right? It just isn't, right? So if you get an idea of the design, the Starship is noteworthy for its unconventional carbon fiber reinforced polymer composite airframe, a small front retractable wing that produces lift, lack of centrally located vertical tail, and it uses a pusher engine propeller configuration. The aircraft employs a front wing variable geometry variable sweep surface to counteract the nose down pitch from the extending the flaps and producing lift, making the aircraft stall proof. The carbon fiber reinforced polymer composite was used to varying degrees on military aircraft. At the same time the Starship was certified, no civilian aircraft in the United States had ever used it so extensively. Beech chose this composite for its durability and high strength to weight ratio. And according to Beech, the Starship weighs less than it would if it were built from aluminium. Nonetheless, the empty weight of production aircraft exceeded the target by several thousand pounds. They studied several configurations before settling on the Canard configuration in early 1980. As configured, the Starship is difficult to stall. The forward surface stalls before the main lifting surface, which allows the nose to drop and more normal flight to resume. A traditionally located vertical tail would have transmitted propeller noise to the airframe. In its place, directional stability and control are provided by rudders mounted on the winglets. Because of this addition, Beechcraft called the winglets tip sails. Ooh. Scob, good to see you. Yeah, he's out there as a CFI. Is he still a CFI out there? Because I thought his idea was, or his plan was, to build currency and then go back into commercial flying. I thought. Retriever Neil, good to see you. You've been setting up the MD-11. It's so good. That MD-11 is so good. If this was a car, what would it be? Something like a Cohen's egg because of how different it is? Possibly. I mean, it is so very different. Look at that shot there. Grimmy, absolutely gorgeous. Well, he was there and then he disappeared. Man, that TBM looks good. So these were called tip sails. And yes, they're massive. I mean, you think of wingtips in an aircraft or sharklets, right? These are huge. Skoda! Oh, you got a new Skoda as well. Good man yourself. Super Ty says the only Rutan aircraft I saw in real life was a one long EZ. Oh, you saw two quickies as well, the Q2? They were mad looking. John Denver flew an EZ until he didn't. Jesus. Did he crash in that? He did. Mounting the engines so that the propellers are facing rearward, pushing the aircraft rather than pulling it, is done for the purpose of a quieter cabin. Since the propellers are further back from the passengers and because the vortices around the propeller tips do not strike the fuselage, the propellers are operating in a turbulent airflow in the pusher configuration. High velocity exhaust gases are discharged directly into the propellers, producing more noise when they are than if the propellers had been in a tractor configuration. Now that's also important to note because it's actually another feature of the aircraft. Where we have the exhaust hitting the prop, yes, it gets loud, right? But also, it's kind of like this naturally aspired prop anti-ice feature. That's mad, isn't it? Like, the design features of this are so strange. They're so strange. So the props are actually being cooled, or de-iced, if you like, from the exhaust of the turboprop, or of the engine, which it is a Pratt & Whitney, isn't it? Yeah, they're PT6. You should be able to tell a PT6 mainly from the design of the exhaust, how it turns and bends out. Pretty cool, right? That's why the P180 is loud from afar when it comes in, but still quieter, let's say, than the Lear 25. Yeah. Good versus ice, bad versus missiles, right? Patelli, good to see you. And then we have all the various air intakes. So we have our engine cooling, right? But then we also have the cabin cooling, which is done from here. So this is an air intake valve, which comes on into the fuselage aircraft, ram air effectively, and that's where that horse is in from there. Various antennas. Our landing gear, which aren't completely covered, so they sit out. But if you look at them, the drag is reduced by that vent there. Leading edge of the wing, which uses de-icing rather than anti-icing. So it uses boots, de-icing boots. You can actually see the boots model. Look, see these lines? They're like lines of membrane, and effectively it pushes out, and the idea then it breaks the ice off it, right? Posted an image in the Bremen bar of the new Skoda. Oh Jesus! Oh, very nice. I mean, you know, it's a Skoda. Nicely done, Retriever Neil. My Skoda, it's a 2016 Skoda. It's still grand, you know. I call it Iona. Iona Skoda. It's very nice. A Skoda's superb. Starship. Look at the state of this thing, man. What are your thoughts on it, lads? Do you like it? Is it meh? Or is it absolutely horrendous looking? What, like, where do we categorise this thing, you know? Four-door, yeah. Hey, Zybot, good to see you. John Denver was killed from an engine failure in his own EZ over Monterey. Oh, no way. Jesus. B. Carlo, good to see you. Hello there. It's bananas and I love it. I'll never understand it. Flying Trit says it's confusing. Takes a little while to get used to it. Freebro, good to see you. Oh, it's on sale right now. Sweet. Nighthawk loves the Starship, but the price stops you cold. It's on sale now, though. Musefan says, doesn't do anything for me, not aesthetically anyway. Sci-fi plane, yeah. Dave Cleary loves it. It wasn't his EZ, was it not? Ah. Murph, why are some aircraft not showing up in multiplayer mode? Sky Camry, the sim is like limited to like 23 objects that it'll show. Mark Swan says nice. Super Ty says weird but good. Simon 20 worth every penny. Yeah, it's a cool. I love the thing, man. I think it's awesome, and I fully appreciate it is weird looking. You know, like it's not like, huh? Energizer loves it. Retriever Neil loves it. Yeah, man, it's good. I love prop pushers. The P180 got me into them. Yeah, the P180, the Avanti, that's another mad looking machine. kind of sad that this aircraft just didn't really perform, you know? You love the CRT screen physics? Yeah, so good, isn't it? The avionics are quite logical. Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's redundancies built in so many systems, you know? I wouldn't enter into a stall competition. No, absolutely not. This thing needs sizable runways. If you love it, Murph, then I love it. But what do I know? Heisenberg. Ahead of its time and very expensive, for sure. The model match plane behind you is a plane more familiar to me. The C550? Yeah, 100%. Scob, yeah, you still on the website? Alright. Right, how are we looking in here? So, engine power, I mean, look at this. We're getting phenomenal speed here. Engine conditions are okay. We didn't worsen things, so that's good. I kept the inertial separator open. We can probably close these now, right? And watch what happens to our torque when we've done that. See it rising all on its own? And that's just because those inertial separators are starting to close. They're going to allow more air into that engine, giving it more power, more oomph. Usually about 20% torque. 15-20%, I think that's the rise in a PT6. So you can see it down here. This flap, this articulated flap, right, that was down. It's now open, and we've no worry of foreign object debris. That's what that means. So the aircraft is simulating that as well, based on the weather and on the ground as well. It's phenomenal. Did you do the free update for this place? The free update 2024. Wait, did you do the free 2024 update for this place, for the plane? I've been learning the Avro RJ this week, loving it, but I can't stick the landings yet despite being able to arm approaches and capture localizers. Keep working on it, that's all I can say. The Impossible Face, that's an awesome airplane as well. The Avro, Jesus. Need to take the Vulcan out for a spin soon as well. Haven't flown the Vulcan in a while, have we? Avro Vulcan? I mean, that's a machine. You think it's the air brake that throws you off? Yeah. For the plane? Yeah. There's a free update for this for 2024. And I got it. It's working very, very well. It looks great. Sounds great. The depth of systems here, they're unbelievable. You can really dial into this. There's multiple ways of navigation, different flight planning. GPS is there if you need it. All round, this is a superb aircraft. Also, you got to be careful of your fuel. Aft quantities down to 16. So what could happen with this machine if you were to turn off the aft fuel? I don't think there's any way for the main engine to use that usable fuel then. It'd have to be pumped out. Usable capacity. So see the way we're right down the standby pumps? External power is off. I think we're okay with everything here. Avionics blower, we'll stick that on for the crack. Let's see what the temperature is. 77 degrees. And see the way we have this animation of the avionics bay? We also have AC running. Instrument panel is hot as balls, hence we have this running, right? So that should bring this temperature down a bit. Now, the problem here is if we run temperatures too high, well, we're going to get failures, right? And you might know of a failure. And you might go in and say, a circuit breaker has popped. But there could be multiple systems that cause that one breaker to pop. Like, there's a lot going on with this. There's over 100 failures. It's incredible. Spat is here, good to see you. How are you, Murph? You've inspired me to do my first VATSIM flight the other day. I made a little mistake when first contacting the departure frequency, but I love the experience. Dude, that's awesome. Well done, man. That's fantastic news. Your plane is now a white nose. It should be green. Uh-oh. Nutty Slack has been learning the PMDG 737 with the help of AI. So far, it's taken my boots, my clothes, and my motorcycle. If it tells you to come with it, if you want to live, run away. Run far away. I'm enjoying that 737, man. I like flying it. 420 the Moose says, this plane is a beast to learn. It's so good. But like, you have a lot of help. I mean, there's lots of documentation. There's a great manual. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's a great machine. It's so different. I think that's why I'm kind of drawn to it. Like, there's other aircraft that are very different, but I'm just not really excited by them. This thing kind of ticks all the boxes for me. Man, look at that view there. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous looking? Shit. It is absolutely, pardon me, absolutely stunning. Where is this now? Sure. Let's have a look. That works. Tunage. Black Square's documentation, generally class. Generally class. Between that and Fortress streams on the Barons and Bonanzas, feel much more confident flying them. Nice. Man, look at the views. It's mad. Like, it's not a place I'm used to flying in. It's a sexy plane, but it doesn't float me boat, says Dougal. Dougal, do you remember we, wasn't there a VATSIM event on, near Russia? Or maybe it was in Russia. It was like the biggest line of aircraft I've ever seen on VATSIM. JBS says, have they fixed how the propellers look when they're spinning? Trying to see, can we get the sunlight? And they look okay to me. It's a plane design that only a mother could love. Yes, Malky, that was the one. Kuru, good to see you. Good evening. I've never done a VATSIM flight up there. Can I get a shout out? Kuru, consider yourself shouted out. Welcome in, buddy. F1 Haronaga, welcome in. Good evening. You're very welcome along. We're here in the Beechcraft Starship, following the footsteps of Napoleon during the rise and fall of his campaign. And, class? On the Dukes, the spinners don't look like they are turning when they're iced up. Oh, really? Kuru, I'm right next door. I'm over in Ireland. When this came out, the props kind of got kneed up, looking like a static disc. Seems a little, yeah, I mean, look, I think it's good. It's still kind of there, but, you know, it's good. It's a machine, man. So after our landing, we'll continue on with our story. It's all about the approach into Moscow. Favorite Beech is the B1900. Made a pretty penny on FS Economy with it. Nerf my age, I would love a B19 in the sim. I would love it. Most unusual plane. It's built specifically for Mrs. GPHI, as it's already half upside down. Right? Kuru, take care. Buttons. Right, we got a landing to make. It's going to be runway 31. So let's do a bit of jiggery pokery here. We're going to make a turn. 120 degrees. Let's go heading mode. We're going to set a new altitude. Down to 3. We're going to go vertical speed. Nose down. Let's go 1.5. Let's ease back our power. I appeared here earlier on, then disappeared, and somehow I'm back again. Now you see me, now you don't. Keen Afford, welcome back. Always hated the looks of the 1900s. Also seemed underpowered. Ooh. Murphy, where should we get Join a Fest from? The new overhaul Join a Fest website or GitHub? To be honest, I'm not mad on Join a Fest. Its performance is kind of head scratching. But if you're going to grab it, I would say from GitHub. Like, I'm just waiting on kind of Skynet to get there, you know? The Apostrophe Face has a soft spot for the King Air 350s. They're awesome, man. Briggsy, I got same intentions. The 7.3 and the 777. Jeez, that's an expensive day, Briggsy. Country Flyer is here. Good to see you. Mark Swan says, if you could fly on any plane, what would it be? Oh, DC-3. DC-3, man. Angels 1.5 had 2 CTDs. A King Air 200 Super Tie, I would love that. The Beech 200. Beautiful. Lights. This kind of... That's the buildings, right? I mean, it's that kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? Typical kind of old Soviet bloc apartments. Both versions are 25.9. All right, okay. Does the Starship have VNAV in the avionics suite, Super Tom? I want to say yes. It has like an IAS profile, which is something similar, you know? We got one here, gives us rides from time to time. Does a Christmas light tour every year. I would love a spin in a DC-3. Model 17. You'd like a 300? I think Game Aviation or Gamma Aviation fly them. Ooh. The tunage. Right, we're going to be landing over here on the left-hand side. We can see the lads on approach. This is kind of pretty. That warning is just about our landing gear, so we're going to increase some power now as we've leveled off at 3,000 feet. Everything here is calmed down in terms of temperature. Our cabin temperature is 70. 21, it's actually all right. We're pretty much okay with everything at the moment. Would I jump out of a DC-3? Probably not. I've already done that. Got the t-shirt, you know. Your craziest one, the Goodyear blimp. That'd be pretty cool. I watched a video on it, but we're going to be flying in an airship in 2 weeks. Next week we cover the Battle of Waterloo, and the week after we're off to what's it called? Helena. Right, what am I looking to do here now? Let me see. Kaluga is the name of this town. We're going to go over the Oka River, and there's going to be a left turn in. Alright. Looks nice. What's your speed, Murph? Oh, look at the views, man. Just big, massive. Did you ever play, like, what was that game? It was like a Sim City based in, like, Soviet Russia. Oh, Catalina would be nice, yes. 1.3 is active. Ah, balls, Muse, is it? Then again, I'm not on live weather, so we're all right, Muse. Say nothing. Catalina would be nice. Workers and resources. That's the one. Yeah, that was good fun, wasn't it? That was lots of fun. Alright, give ourselves a bit of a wide berth here. That's what Simbrief gave you? Oh, nice. Man, this is pretty. Hey, Filthy, happy Monday, buddy. Hope you're well. Welcome in. Right, our first landing tonight in the Beech Starship. This is going to be a barrel of laughs. Hang a left here, Merv. Let's call this one 030 degrees. Keep her going. Alright. Now, start bringing back power back. While we're here, inertial separator can be reopened. Prop sync is already off. Landing lights are on. Props, they're okay for the minute. Keep dropping the speed back. We'll get the warning light for the gear. I'm not worried about it. There's one here in Fort Worth. What? Starship DC-3 probably my if I could fly aboard any aircraft. Yeah, man. Hey, Kieran Nile is here. Good to see you, Kieran. Filthy, very welcome in. A Vanguard, or the L188, the Electra. B. Carlos says, Murph, I contacted Verpal support about the cadet flight stick I ordered months ago. They were very apologetic and it sounded like they somehow missed fulfilling the order. They are now overnighting it to me. Should have it tomorrow. Ah, nice. B. Carlo. Thanks for letting us know, man. At some point I'll probably join the flagship Detroit Foundation to get myself a chance for flights. Ooh. Chunky gets... he's a crew chief on some Warbirds. You know Zach, Chunky Aviation? The Catalina landed in the Loch Ness, I believe, and was stuck there for a while due to technical problems. No way. Gaming people, good to see it. Right. Runway. We're going to take it out of autopilot. And we're going to attempt to hand fly this thing. So, speed is coming down. We're going to go for a notch. Well, I say a notch. It's going to be our, the canard. Look at this move. And that mad looking. Gear. And a left turn. The sounds are only savage. Also, I nearly stalled it by like not watching where I'm going. There's the runway. I watched the class Cathay 747 group flight. Ooh, nice. YS-11. Need to fly that again. That's such a good airplane. Alright, watch the speed. Increase the small bit of prop. Yeah, the Catalina would be really nice to fly in as well. Like, whatever about sitting in the back of a DC-3, I want to fly a DC-3. Do you know? It's about 12 pounds at the moment. Malky, that's like... The YS-11 is a great airplane. I see me flying that on Vatsim one of the days. Alright, speed 110. This is a good speed for our approach. The dude started on DC-3s in Africa, ended up captaining a 747. The problem with the YS-11 is it's not a DC-6. Oh, the DC-6 though. I love the DC-6. I don't know who's making a Catalina. Video of the cat stuck in Loch Ness is on YouTube. MacD, now, is it a Catalina or is it like a cat? I wouldn't be surprised it's on the internet. Here's a cat. Meow, she's stuck in Loch Ness. Airsoft did a very good Catalina back in the day. Yeah, they did, yeah. Easy now. Alright, take your time coming in. Approach speed is good. Landing gear is down. Power's set. Got a Fuga following us in. Easy now. Of course, we all know the secret weapons against Napoleon were Irishmen Arthur Wesley and Sergeant Major Patrick Harper. Listen, at every major conflict in the world since ever, there's been an Irishman on either side of that confrontation. Fact. I'm so tempted, but I really need to stop buying pixel planes, Malky. Yeah. I know the feeling, man, but like, they're getting so good. And with the sim getting more stable, like, you're able to enjoy them a bit better, you know? Jace, what's the story with the layout of the runway? We go from kind of weirdness to no nothingness and then wideness. Let's just kind of wing it. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. Gaming people, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, man. Hope you're having a great day. You got yourself a new yoke. Nice. Oh, Jesus, got handy Murph. Right, easy now. Concentration phase.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Stew! Into beta. I think my concentration phase helped. Right. It's terrible autogen? Yeah. I mean, what do you expect, right?
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Well, there's a beta. There's our decel. And that's our first stop of the night. Nice. Second leg is going to take us right up to the south of Moscow. There's no taxiways that I can see here, so we're just going to have to hang a right. And we'll taxi back up the road. Easy now with our Starship. Don't break the shagging thing, Murph. Right, fuel is going to be our main concern on this one. So, 685. We'll see. I bought the Starship, the Baron Bonanza, the TBM 850, the A340, the 73, the MH60 in the past few months. That's an incredible lineup of aircraft. You only have 1.5 thousand Murph pints left. Stu, how many did you have? What the hell kind of runway is that? In Soviet Russia, runway lands you. It's grand. Where it is, it's hard or close to impossible to stall the Starship, correct? A couple of times in an Air Niuizhny DC-3. No way! That's awesome. 757 or the Fokker 5070 for me next. Ooh, nice. Muttley, good evening. Hope you're well, bud. Yeah, 70 or 100. I think that Falcon is coming out soon as well. Briggsy says, the plane is 39 years old, as me, but better looking. I did have loads until I got good with timings. It had over 150,000. Super Typhon has 1.2 million Murph points. Jesus. Easy now. Pitot overheat. Alright. Right, out of beta, sit tight. Do we need fuel? We're after drinking a fair lump of fuel there. Let's horse in some fuel. We'll go 60 gallons and then we'll go 120 or 130. Right, horse that in now. All is well in the realm. Engines 62 and 72. Let's see what happens. Okay. Are my specs up to date? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, they're up to date. How much RAM am I using? It should be using a lot of it. 43, it's using 40 gigs. It isn't much, to be fair. Right. Now, for our next trick. This is going to fly us into Moscow. Now, I don't know, does the sim actually give us landmarks? I had the Jerizveki scenery loaded, but I forgot to activate it. So this is going to be interesting. So our next stop, 86 nautical miles up the road. And then from there, we're going to do a bit of sightseeing around Moscow. We have a landing up at Sheremetyevo. And then it's down, final stop then, Vnukovo just outside again. So this should be interesting, right? Let's see what happens. So, let me see. Configure ourselves for take off. We're going to go heading. Altitude on this leg, we'll go 5,000. Even though it seems a little bit kind of odd. On autopilot heading, flight director, right, we're grand. Okay, are we ready? No, it's not utilising it all, no. 90 gigs of RAM is overkill? It depends, like I'm using, like there's multiple things at play. But then they, apart from your RAM, they start working on your CPU, you know what I mean? It gets a little bit kind of tricky. Right, to infinity and beside. Power coming in. Autofetter engaged. Hold. Power up. Don't over torque it. 97 will do her. Off the brakes. Let's go flying. Watch the torque. Airspeed live. This should be interesting.
I haven't a clue what you're doing.
Doing a great job with the Russian place names. Thanks, Keen. 80 knots. 90. 100. 105. Oopsie daisy. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Tapping our toe brakes. 125, 130. Canard coming in. Easy now. Autopilot. Let's go heading. Let's go vertical speed. And we're going to climb at 1500. Watch the torque. $62.72. That's what we need to keep an eye on it, right? Performance is back on being excellent tonight. Friday night was terrible. Ooh, Black Eyes Gabe is here. Good to see you, Gabe. You're going to upgrade from a Ryzen 7 7800 to a Ryzen 9 7950. Everyone says not to. You're going to be going... there's not much between them. Like the Ryzen 9... Jesus, was it the 9950? I mean, that'd be... You would see more of an uplift with that. But not much. It's a side grade. Yeah. Crew alert system. Nighthawk. CAS would be crew alert system. Okay, 95. That's looking good. Go ahead and close. Inertial separator. Bring the power down a smidgen. Prop down a smidgen. It looks like a clean climb out. We're going to hang right here now, lads. .060 degrees. And we're going to pick up our nav once again. Oh, heck yeah. There's Mr. GBHI. Ups and down as usual. QC Frank. This is a savage freaking plane, man. It's savage. Trying to resurrect a 15-year-old PC. New CMOS battery. Uh-oh. Keep her turning. 1,000 feet to go on her climb. 87. Drop the torque. Easy now. Fuel is good. Temperature's good. Okay, leveling off here at 5. Keep an eye on our speed. Lyric. We'll turn in a little bit tighter to grab that magenta line. We'll turn right 090 degrees and we'll arm nav mode. And let's see what she does from here. Did you see the new flight rig at CES? I didn't care on no. Flying AM4 X3D at the moment difficult. I haven't really gone messing with it, to be honest. You have a 5900X and a 5700X you're not using, says CP. Jesus. Man, the sounds on this, absolutely brilliant. Right, let me see. We'll do what we do another count, lads. Another head count. So, if you are still flying with us, join FS. I never turned on. New version now. Turn on the network, because Aki should be flying. So, Xbox pilots, you press 1. PC pilots, press 2. Join FS or Skynet is number 3. For everyone else, number 4. Ooh. True Demon, yes, it is a canard design with a pusher configuration for the engine, and it's savage looking, isn't it? Can't get used to the tailplane, right? 26 on PC, 1 on console, 1 on Skynet John FS, and 177 passengers plus. Murph, thank you, Keen. Right, we covered the last bit of our story for tonight. So into Moscow. On the 14th of September, Napoleon entered Moscow expecting the political collapse that had followed Vienna, Berlin, and indeed Madrid. Instead, he found a silence that felt unnatural. The population already gone. The city was stripped. No delegations, no cheers, no keys handed over. Moscow, holy and symbolic, was not offering itself as a hostage for peace. So, Napoleon established himself in the Kremlin. He ordered mortar to prevent plunder, but the army was already fraying, discipline already wearing thin, and the city itself was about to become a weapon. Fires broke out and then spread. Soon, whole districts were burning, the Kremlin itself became unsafe, and the emperor was forced to leave temporarily while the flames consumed the city. Now, whether the burning was fully organised or partially chaotic remains debated. Some blamed, Rostopchin, and deliberate incendiaries. Others argued that the fire was partially accidental, partially caused by plunderers, partially by patriotic inhabitants. The truth may be mixed, but what matters is very much the outcome. Moscow wasn't the prize. It turned into a terrible trap. Napoleon waited there for weeks, expecting Alexander to come forth and negotiate some sort of peace between France and Russia. It never happened. The Tsar, funny, that name Tsar, T-S-A-R, well, that's the Russian word for Caesar. The Tsar understood the brutal arithmetic. Moscow wasn't the war. Winter was the war. Distance was the war. And that all turned into being hunger became the war. If Napoleon stayed, his army would rot. They would starve. If they retreated, his army would be hunted. Either way, the campaign now took a very decisive turn where it was all about survival. In politics, you must never retrace your steps. Napoleon delayed because retreat looked like defeat, and in his empire, perception was a weapon. He reportedly said he was blamed for not retreating, But retreat required time to evacuate hospitals, reorganise, and avoid abandoning wounded men to Cossacks. More revealingly, he argued that the world saw him only as a general, forgetting he was an emperor, and that in politics, one must not retrace one's steps. It's a chilling admission. He understood the danger, and yet he stayed anyway, because pride and legitimacy mattered to Napoleon far more than any sort of strategy. Eventually, he had no choice. On the 19th of October, the retreat began. Now, imagine trying to retreat all of this ground, hundreds of miles, in the winter. Morale is absolutely broken, supplies wearing thin, and the winter is at you. And I mean it's at you. Napoleon attempted to retreat south to find less devastated ground. That's where we're headed now. But he was blocked. Kutuzov blocked him, and the fight was costly and the position unfavourable. So, Napoleon chose the road they had come in by, the road that was already stripped bare. Le Bois called it the desert which we ourselves had made. Then the weather turned. The first snow fell in early November. Temperatures crashed. Winds howled through the forests. Men could no longer see the road. They fell into ditches and froze. Many just froze alive. They were badly clothed. They were starving. They were drinking what they could. It was said that any horse or dog was used for meat. Discipline completely collapsed. The army ceased to behave like an army. Regiments broke apart, soldiers wandered for food, stragglers were attacked by peasants, then finished off by the Cossacks. The horses, as I said, became food, and fires could not keep them alive in the wind. The biggest problem for these soldiers trying to retreat were the ravens. Smolensk was reached again in early November. Stores existed, but order did not. Men pillaged rations, some gorged, others starved. The retreat continued through Krasnoy. Ney's rear guard was mauled so badly that when it finally rejoined, it numbered around 900 men. This is down from thousands, right? Then came the Berezina. The moment the retreat almost became annihilation. Bridges were thrown across under pressure. Fighting raged on both banks. Units held the Russians back long enough for thousands to cross, but the loss of life here was catastrophic. Tens of thousands were dead or captured, and many of the camp followers and wounded were unable to move fast enough. At Smorgoni, Napoleon did something no one expected from the man who had built his legend on presence. He left. Napoleon headed back to Paris at speed, driven by fear for the stability of his throne. Rumours of conspiracy, political tremors, and the knowledge that Europe now smelled blood. It was one of the most humane moments in the story. It wasn't bravery, not genius. Panic and calculation. By the time the remnants dragged themselves back towards Vilna, the Grand Army was no longer an instrument of conquest. It was just a crowd of survivors. Of the vast host that crossed the Niemen, only a fraction returned. Hundreds of thousands were dead from battle, hunger, disease, exposure, and collapse. Russia had paid terribly too, but strategically, the result was decisive. Napoleon had failed to compel peace, he had failed to destroy the Russian army, and he had marched to Moscow and gained nothing that mattered. Europe now knew Napoleon could be beaten. Russia didn't just merely survive this entire invasion. It emerged as the engine of a new European war. The Sixth Coalition formed around a new idea. No separate peace, no more deals, no more survival by surrendering allies. The objective now was not negotiation, it was removal. Napoleon would respond the only way he knew how, by raising yet another army, fighting another campaign, and trying to force history back into obedience. But the centre of gravity has shifted. The road from Madrid had led to Moscow, and the road from Moscow now led back to Paris. Not in triumph, but in pursuit. Part 9 next week, when the war finally reaches Napoleon's own front door, we'll be focusing on the Battle of Waterloo. And that's all going to be next week in Part 9. So, like, an absolute catastrophic disaster. And, like, what makes all this fascinating, you know, I say this all the time, but, like, history absolutely repeats itself. The very same thing happened, you know, 130 years later. The exact same. And through the dawns of time, well, similar issues happened years before all of this. Insert the meme of, like, you know, Sean Bean, you know, one does not simply enter Moscow. It's huge. And even though we got there relatively fast, all this ground that he managed to, you know, make, it was all part of Russia's plan. Let them in, keep retreating, keep falling back, and then as soon as they weaken, strike them, and you strike hard. Cossacks, in terms of a military unit, were unbelievably strong. Cavalry drawn, horse drawn, savage. Happy Justify, good to see you. I'll set the cold beer for next week as we visit Belgium. Yes. It's mad, like, when you consider everything that went through it. And if you were to look at, say, you know, Napoleon army in Russia, right? When you look at Napoleon army kit and uniform, I mean, they were so underprepared. They had the wrong clothing. So if we were to look, where are we at here now? Uniforms of the Russian army during the war. The reign of Alexander I of Russia. Let's see if we can get something a bit better than that. Like, even in one little picture, right? You guys can see that. Russians, heavy overcoats versus the French. Like, so very, very different, isn't it? And even came the whole, the strategy, the tactics that would have been deployed during the day. 77 Gus. What? Really? Scorched old strategy works in Russia best because of harsh environment. Yeah, 100% Senti. Napoleon wasn't the only one who struggled. No, not at all. Like, he did push the Russians all the way back. And all of this came from, you know, he and Tsar Alexander, like, they had a pact. They had this agreement, this gentleman agreement some years ago. And Russia agreed, yeah, we'll help you, France. We'll boycott all the British goods. We'll make sure there's no trading. But the problem there left Russia, its economy, absolutely shagged. The Russian economy could not survive without trade imports from Britain. And again, you look at Russian history, the Russian economy wasn't able to survive 120 years later. It depended heavily on imports of trade from the United States and once again from Great Britain. It's just the way it was. It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. So the Grand Army, they wore standard French uniforms, typically dark blue coats, coloured facings, and all the usual collars, cuffs and lapels, identifying the regiment with white breeches and black shakos, they were called. However, the brutal campaign of 1812 rapidly degraded these, forcing soldiers into practical, worn-out gear like grey overcoats, rough wool trousers and simple caps for survival, not just against battle, but obviously against the severe Russian winter. And to give you an idea, right? Russian winter. The Russian winter of 1812 was a devastating factor in Napoleon's failed invasion. But just to give you an idea, right? I mean, frostbite, all that stuff was there, right? But when we talk about, you know, what sort of temperature would it have been? What sort of weather were they actually getting, right? Temperatures in Russia dropped significantly reaching as low as minus 37 degrees Celsius. Minus 37 degrees, lads. And then you have like snow, winds, chill factor. Minus 37? Like, isn't it like 30 below, engine stop, right? Humans, minus 37. Seems like Napoleon failed a lot. But what's interesting, I mean, this is the first time he's now lost. In a career spanning over 20 years, he is at the highest point. Napoleon controls continental Europe. Everything in between it. He's had victory after victory after victory. Unstoppable. The man was unstoppable. He brought this military genius, this general genius. But with Russia, it all went wrong. And I suppose the foundation of where things started going wrong, you know, that has to be brought back to what happened in Spain. This Spanish ulcer, it was bleeding the French system dry. Troops, money, resources. That was the start of it. Hello? What have we got out here? I thought it was a power station.
Hello there.
Hello there. So like all the resources were completely gobbled up, and then when you get to Russia, where at the start things were going pretty good, right? But then all of a sudden, I mean, the Russians knew exactly what was going to happen. They knew this. Kane says, it's scary to see this kind of history repeating itself nowadays, taking land both in Europe and North America. Yeah, Kane, 100%. We never seem to learn. We really don't. And like, you know, to go into Russia, that wasn't something Alexander did. That wasn't something Julius Caesar did. Kind of mad, right? That's just the world in which we live, lads. But we can learn an awful lot from history. Like, it kind of shapes what happens in the future, you know? Greed and power, yeah. It's the leaders who don't seem to learn. Well, you know. Sandy says German tanks broke down in Russia while Russian tanks didn't. Yeah. The Russian winter, I mean, it is their strongest defense. Outside of the massive landmass and population, it's the landmass, which is absolutely friggin' huge, lads. Okay, right turn coming in, heading mode engaged. And we'll do an approach here for the southern runway. We're going to bring our speed right back. Easy now. Now we can drop our altitude here down to about 3,000. Even lower. Let's go 2.5. Let's go V-speed. And let's go down the road of about 1,500 will do us. We're on idle. Keep bringing the speed back. But it's mad. It is mad. And like the world, unfortunately, the world we live in today, it's, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the whole point of doing these historic things, and particularly Napoleon, I was just fascinated by him. I knew certain things, but nowhere near like the level of stuff that went on, you know. And like when you look at France, the grandeur of empire that was all kicking off, and meanwhile Napoleon was off, you know, trying to tame the world to his system, and then failed miserably in Russia. Miserably. Just imagine what it would have been like for like your average soldier on either side, Russian or French. Like, Jesus. Minus 37 though, lads. It was minus 50 degrees in Alberta not too long ago. What? Minus 55 in Yukon. That's crazy. Crazy. Right, our speed is coming down nicely. Interesting buildings. Yes, comrade. In Russia, buildings look red. Right, let's see what we can do here now. Down to 2,000, 1,000 to go. Speed is still dropping. And we'll do a little bit of a right turn in order to make a nice bit of a teardrop back around to the left. Should be grand. Easing out. There's flyer 10. Oh man, it looks and sounds great, doesn't it? Easy now. Just picked up the MD-11. It was a well-designed, developed plane. Well done with the lads at TFDI. Oh yeah, Roy, they did a great job. Mr. Big Britches, welcome in. Your pro tip video on YouTube is Chef Kiss. Oh, thank you very much. The tip on disabling clouds in the world screen has saved you so much frustration. Nice. Gear coming down. Now, inertial separator open up. Autopilot off. And let's start turning this guy in. I still can't believe it's only a 5 upgrade from 2020. Yeah. The price of a cup of coffee, Muse fan. That is the difference, my friend. And like, they don't have, TFDI, they don't have a massive catalogue of aircraft or of products. I think they've done a great thing, man. And like, when they say the price of a cup of coffee, that's, you know. Easing out. About the vid, maybe want to make a note of the different location of the community folder for Steam users. Yeah, could do, yeah. Good call, Malky. Easy now. Easy. I remember when I got the 717 from TFDI design, launched in a bad state, but in the end it turned out to be a great plane. Yes. But I mean, they've only brought the MD-11 over to Flight Sim 2020 and 24, right? Can I copy Flight Sim 2020 controls to 2024? Kinda, sorta, but not really, no. Not really, Kieran. You're as well just to set them up again, buddy. Like, some of the default stuff is there. Like, they already have default mappings. If you have default mappings, it'll be grand. It's a big upgrade, way better model, better texturing, and indeed for a cup of coffee. Yeah, sounds as well, systems. It's very, very good. Like, I last flew it. When did I even fly it yet? We showed it on the news there a week or two ago. But I'll be flying it again. Definitely. I tend to use a separate folder with add-ons linker. Yeah, that works. I get the sense a lot of these third-party developers are simmers first, whereas PMGG had always felt business first. Yeah. Look, at PMGG or PMGG, man, I mean, that's their business model, that's how they roll, right? They do make good add-ons, no question. But there's a lack of competition when it comes to the aircraft that they have, so they kind of rule without consequence, really, right? I will, the impossible face. We've done cross the pond in the MD-11. That was fun. Energizer, yeah, that'd be kind of mad, wouldn't it? Easy now, Murph. We're getting into some very busy neck of the woods here now. That was your first MD-11. What about a second MD-11? Yeah, we'll do it again, don't worry. Cross the pond in an ATR. We're starting on Monday, we'll be there come Thursday. I imagine the ATR would manage across the pond if you go up through Iceland and Greenland. Surely it would. Easy now. What about second MD-11? That was first MD-11. What about second MD-11? Lord of the Rings reference? What? I didn't know about that. What are you talking about? Easy now. Gerald, thank you very much. So tomorrow morning stream at 1100 Zulu, we're going to be flying in the MH60 once again. We're going to do some Coast Guard operations with On Air. And then with On Air, we're going to start stuff in a couple of weeks, or over the next couple of weeks. I want to get into industries. Because at the moment we're building up our pilot and a bit of our virtual airline, but I want to get into the industry side to see what it's all about. Quite slot, good to see you. Do you want to build a snowman? I started in O'Hare, currently in Vafar, or Vagar. Ooh. Might set an alarm for the M860 flight? Yes. Alright, easy does it. Power idle, Murph. Am I using DLS 4.5?
Dreamy, sleepy,
No.
nighty, snoozy, snooze.
I am not. 2 dogs. You tiffle. That's 6 a.m. your time, says Mr. GPHI. Oh, Jesus. Sure, 6 o'clock in the morning, you'd probably have a day's work done, I'd say. Do you know? Easy. Watch the flare. She's a floater, this one, if you get it wrong. Oh, Jesus. 110. We pretty much lost lift at about 20 feet. Boof.
Can I get a refund?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. In a box, man. Good to see you. Did you hear the stall shaker? Like, it was literally... Murph, do you also... Am I also getting CTD and X-Plane with the latest beta? I haven't tried it yet, Roy. Yeah, we'll fill that tomorrow, Keen. 100%. It went quick. It went very quick. Roy, I haven't used X-Plane since that update. And I've no X-Plane content scheduled for this week, so we'll probably have a look next week, but if they don't release another beta, I'll probably hold off until they release another beta. Right, back taxi. Fuel situation. Alright. Okay, comrades. Next we fly over Moscow. No problem, but you're warned. It'd be grand. Alright. We're going to keep this one relatively low. 2,500 in fact should probably do us, right? Easy now. Bit of beta. There's Ryan aiming. Bit of break. Alright. There's grey skies coming in. Alright, we're doing Yui here. Alright. Okay, runway heading. Heading's armed. Vertical speed will jump to down in a moment. Right, lads, are we ready? Just found the A350, first time since last update. Oh, what an aircraft. Yeah, the A350 is so good. A340. Oh, that flight we did yesterday. That's so nice. So nice. Right, lads, are we ready? Second last landing. It's going to be a quick dash across Moscow. Then we have a stop in uniform, echo, echo. And then we're down the hill. So, power coming in. Nice and easy. Autofighter doing his thing. Watch the torque. Take off power set. Hey, Newfoundland, good to see you. Where do we see 2024 in a year's time? The Sim? Or the same? Certainly see more features, more stability. I think the way the global tech is working now, there seems to be a lot more kind of push on making older computers run smoother. Yep, see Daisy. Positive rate, gear up. Rocket ship. Ease off the power. Autopilot. Vertical speed. It was a nice 1,000 feet. Little turn to the right. Dan 1878, good to see you. Sim update 5 maybe in a year. No, I'd say a lot I could be wrong. I would be guessing sim update 5. If it doesn't be, if they don't release it in kind of April, May, it could be something for Expo, you know? I don't know. I thought I saw something about March, but I can't be sure, Mr. Big Britches. Cannot be sure. Alright, ease off the power. Torque is good.
Hello there.
Hello there. Smudge, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Alright. Nice time of day. Bit of weather over Moscow, but we'll keep her lit. Down on the left hand a little bit. No, second last one, Muse. One more after this, but it's short. It's very short. As long as some update 4 beta to come out, I don't see 5 coming out soon. I think the sim update 4 beta though, there was just so much going on. You know what I mean? Alright, we're starting to see some stuff. I think it's all going to be just that generic scenery stuff. We'll see what happens. They have a Q&A this week. Oh, do they? Do they? Oh. They have a lot to do with 5. Is there a dev Q&A this week? I can't remember. You think I'd know these things? Speed is looking good. We've all sorts of mad buildings here. But we're very much now flying over Russia. This is pretty cool looking. Not that I've heard, yeah. Yeah, Rex is showing up as a 7-4. He's some man, Rex, isn't he? Some man. Right. Some flyage over Moscow, lads. This is cool. Very interesting. Isn't that scenery fantastic, man? Jesus. So this is actually stock scenery. I had the Vecchi scenery loaded, but I forgot to activate it. Shouldn't come as any surprise. Isn't that savage? Absolutely gorgeous. Right. So we continue on. And our next landing is up here. Uniform, echo. And it certainly looks cold down there. We passed the Kremlin, we had the cathedral, we had the university. This is all the kind of default stuff. It's nice, isn't it? Very nice. The nerdy scientist Dr. Bunsen Honeydrew and his hapless assistant Beaker frequently gets harmed in chaotic experiments. Ooh. B. Carlos says, just picked up Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for my youngest son. Now have 2 sims to maintain and troubleshoot. Brilliant. Energizer just flew the 109 for the first time in a long time. Warbirds and Chaseplane is a match made in heaven. Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't flown them planes in ages. Need to go flying them soon, though. Right, we'll hang a left. And let me see, we'll do a bit of a splash and dash in this one. We might just do a touch and go with this one, lads. Uniform, echo. We'll do a quick touch and go, and then we'll head around to our last stop of the night. It's not far. Straighten out. Easing out. Flyby and cinematic mode. Ah, Jesus. Yep. I mean, they're great in this. Look at that Sky Raider beside us, like in Angels 1.5. It's freaking gorgeous. Mrs. GPHI in an airliner, she would be disgusted. Not that we're going to get it anytime soon, but I imagine Moscow is like one of the most photographed places in the world from space. But wouldn't it be great to get some photogrammetry for here? I'm just saying. Engines are still okay. This is a great achievement. We haven't actually damaged or further damaged our engines, considering how long it's been since I've flown this. This is great. Right. How do you pronounce this place? Sheremetyevo. No, Sheremetyevo. Sheremetyevo. Comrade. Sheremetyevo. Photograph from space to stalk the one man. Think outside a red square is all fairly much the same. Sheremetyevo. Thank you. I flew the Lear 145. Whoa, Robert Hall. No way, man. Jesus. Let's go over 2-4 left for the crack. 2-4 left. Make a turn. Patrick will get a girlfriend before Moscow gets photogrammetry. Sheremetyevo. Wait. Sheremetyevo. Sheremetyevo. Right. Do you remember the scene out of The Great Escape? The lads are trying to escape at the start, you know, with the gardening equipment. They were trying to speak Russian. It's a mad language, isn't it? It's a freaking mad language. It's great. One ping only, Vasily. I flew the EMB 145 almost 12 hours. Or 12,000 hours. Robert, really? Jeez. All I know is niet. Yeah. Sherry met Yavo and they lived happily ever after. Paparazzi. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, good luck saying that. And hello from Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome in, buddy. Temperature's starting to get cool. Interesting. Right. This is all gone terribly wrong. Power to idle. Easy now, you big idiot. You're going to make a mess here. It's alright. Watch that speed drop like an absolute mad thing. Gear. Canard. Let's get in. Power idle. This is fine. Oh, changing Mac. It's a touch and go, right? Touch and go. Over on YouTube, Scott, Robert Hall. You learn so many new words from different languages playing games online. You really do. And of course, I'm watching TV, you know. I started watching Chernobyl again last night. I watched one episode last night before I went to bed, and Jesus, it's frightening. Now that is frightening. I watched Excalibur last night. Excalibur, eh? Mindhunter was absolutely brilliant. We finished that. It was so well done, Rick. It really was. It was excellent. I watched it ages ago when it first came out. I've gone back to watch it now, and yeah, man, it's like that's powerful stuff, man. Watch your speed. Look at this drop. It's mad. 100 knots. It's like, no, you're not flying. The Expanse. Timothy, thank you very much. Cheers, buddy.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Viper Strike, you absolute devil, turning off me lights. The man can see. Alright, 2-4, we're calling this one a splash and dash. Easy. Easy. Alright, idle. There's a touch, 63. Oh, Jesus. Right, Canard in, power. Up the hill. Oh man, this is good. Can we do a takeoff whilst in flyby mode? No, try it again. Yes! Beautiful. Actually met some kids who were evacuating because of Chernobyl. A bunch of them came to Scotland. Ooh. The left on resolve, ask you. Mindhunter. Yeah, they need to make more of those. It was so good, man. So good. Lear, thank you very much indeed. Glad you're enjoying it, buddy. Jesus, look at this. Now, doesn't that look absolutely savage? Amazing. They did that a lot here too. Yeah, they used to bring the kids over every year. They still do, I think. Wait, where am I going? Left a bit, Murphy. Left a bit. What's your power? Alright, easy now. Robert Hall, Scott. Robert Hall. Oh man, look at this. That's that. Wouldn't you just do this all day? You gotta love chase plane, man. Right, continue on in. So our final stop of the night, just up the road here, lads. We'll be there in about 10 minutes. I'm trying to remember what else to watch now. We've watched it. We were thinking about rewatching Narcos. That was brilliant. Narcos was friggin' awesome. The Expanse, yeah, I'm starting into that. I need to watch more of The Expanse. I'm like 2 seasons in. What was the other yoke we're going to watch? I'm waiting to watch Fallout. I'm going to wait until like I'm on a plane to watch that. Narcos Mexico, also amazing. Yeah, very, very good, man. Yeah, I'm going to wait until like I'm flying to New Zealand or something to watch the rest of Fallout Season 2. Best show ever was Vikings. I haven't watched it. Do you know, I haven't seen any of it. The Expanse is great. watched a good few episodes of The Expanse. It's interesting. Season 2, I think I'm on. I am on season 2. When you were dying with that dose, you binged on Battlestar Galactica. No, I haven't watched that in years. You need to finish watching The Last Kingdom. Ooh. Been rewatching Enterprise myself. Super underappreciated show. Jay Whittaker, Enterprise? I never really got into it. I think I enjoyed the first season. And then I just kind of went, nah. Last Kingdom, what's that about? I haven't seen that. DS9 was more your bag. Next Generation. There is only one. It was the Next Generation. It was about Wessex versus the Vikings. Oh, it's like Vikings. Ah. You're going through Band of Brothers again, then contemplating Battlestar Galactica. Ooh. Or you can watch it going to Expo. I can't wait that long. I'll go nuts. Yeah, the modern stuff is awful. Awful. You'd love to meet the writers of like who's doing the modern stuff for Star Trek and just like slap him with a fish. What he is doing? He's ruining it. Next Generation, the bee's knees. Yes. Kai Wen, yeah. Red Dwarf. I watched that years ago as well. Jeez, this is nice. I know it's default and all, but like it's nice, isn't it? This is the Beechcraft Starship. It's from Black Square and it's excellent. It's a beautiful airplane. Mad looking, but beautiful. Star Trek Academy starts on the 15th. Yeah. I can't say I'm excited about that. I saw the trailers and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, even Picard, that started great, then it kind of got crap. Well, to me, it went downhill, something terrible. And then, like, they saved it in the last season. Only just saved it. You know? No, Locust, this isn't is it native? Yeah, it's a native aircraft. Yeah, sorry, it is. Flew out of Corfu yesterday. Ooh.
Hello there.
Bounty Live, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Stephen enjoyed Picard. Well, I liked the first season, then I kind of drifted away from it, but then the last season was very good. Where are we flying? We're overhead Moscow at the moment. We're heading out to Vnukovo for a full stop landing. Yeah, digital America, shocking, isn't it? A Klingon with a shaved beard in Academy. Yeah. Is Star Trek real or Star Wars? Can never remember which way it is around. But I mean, they're not real, but it'd be Star Trek, you know. Irish doing well at the Golden Globes. The best prop aircraft in the game. Dustin, good to see it. This is awesome. Yeah, it's a great machine. Alright, we'll turn her in. To Moscow. You're from Moscow. Good evening. You're very welcome in. We're following the Napoleon series. And tonight, Cover the Ground, we left kind of Belarus neck of the woods as we... Was it Belarus? We left Vitebsk and we flew into Moscow. So next week we're back into Belgium, and then it's over to whatchamacallit, Mount Helena. Oh no, Island Helena. Luke Skywalker was real. Standing by for fight. Uh-oh. Season 1 was great, Season 2 was weak, Season 3 was a fan service. Friend is a massive Star Trek fan, but I've always been Star Wars. Crazy nights have been debating it all over. Listen, it's live long and prosper, right? Anything else just won't do. And if you don't agree with that, you know, for card, yeah. Scott likes Poe. Do you like Star Wars as well? I never really got into it. Oh, jeez, it's got handy. Right. Gear. Was supposed to be, I've said, a good Wait, what? Was supposed to have said a good pee. Oh, with the lads, yeah, a good pee up. Got you now. Roy, take it easy, buddy. Star Wars is like World War II in space with magic. Nah, I never got into Star Wars. I mean, it was alright. The first 4 were good, which were technically the last 4. You know what I mean? 4, 5, and 6 were good. The shoot-offs, yeah, the shoot-offs were good. The Mandalorian, that I agree. And also the battle scenes in Star Wars were excellent. You know, I mean, come on. That run up the friggin' Death Star, that was brilliant. But Star Trek, excellent. The Next Generation, specifically kind of season 3 onwards. Season 5, 6, 7, they were excellent. Right, easy now. We approach our final stop of the night. This has been a beautiful flight, gotta say. Did we have Sky growing up? We did. Easy now. Andor is great. People forget the Star Wars looked like nothing anyone saw. Oh, 100%. Alright, easy now. 120 knots. A little bit fast, but we'll fix that. Easy. Watch the drop in speed. Oh, Jesus, it's a long landing. Get her down. Get her down. Easy. Easy. Touchdown. 38 feet. We'll take every last drop of that. I ran over, Frank. Sorry, Frank. There's no crying in Starfleet. Lots decel. Canard retract. Alright. You're in New York City when your grandma took me and your brother to the premiere of Star Wars. Oh wow, Boss and Elf, really? Nice. Is it now? Of Star Trek, I thought the movies with Kirk were the best. Ah, no. Picard all the way. Can! Dick Dastardly before school and the wacky races after school. Cartoon Network for me. Used to watch Stop the Pigeon. Brilliant. You saw the premiere in LA, Scott? No way. First Contact was fantastic. Yes. First Contact, man. What was his name? Do you know the actor who played... What's his name? The dude. No, not Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy? No. Star Trek First Contact. Your man who played Cochrane, right? Zephyr Cochrane, that's the one, lads. So you know the actor who played Zephyr Cochrane? Your man with the face, right? He also played a cameo role in Star Trek The Next Generation. James Cromwell, that's the one. So season 6, I think it was season 6, where Worf goes off to try and find his dad, right? Back her up here now. Can we actually get reverse thrust? We can. Cochrane played an alien, which I thought was interesting, you know. Easy now. He also played the president. Was that him? I don't think he played the president, actually, did he? Can we have a movie night on here and just like watch a film and we all chat about it? Funny enough, the guy that played Commander Tomalek was in an episode of Enterprise. Yeah, Sir Tuvok was in The Next Generation. So was, what was his name? Perry. You broke your little ships. Very good, Heisenberg. Right. Park and brake. Set. Engine 62, 72. Fantastic news. We didn't jag it. Lights. All right. Low idle. Fans off. Temperature mode off. And stall warning. Pitot. Off, off. Oh, leave that open. What else do we want to do here now? Oxygen closed. Engine ignition off. Starters off. Auto feather off. Right side coming down. Left side coming down. Props feather. Looking good, looking good. Looking good. Okay. And last but not least is going to be battery. All power off. Gyros will spin down. So we're looking here. Payload. Get the chocks, pitot covers, engine covers, and the gear pins. And get the cabin door. All right, ladies and gentlemen. James Cromwell was in Next Generation multiple times. Really? That was fantastic, lads. I want to thank you all so very much indeed. Interesting flight here as we visited Russia this evening. And I was impressed with the scenery. It's pretty good, wasn't it? Loads of fun. So tomorrow we're back 11 o'clock Zulu tomorrow morning. We're going to be taking out the MH60 for some Coast Guard operations. Then tomorrow night we have some trucking. Wednesday night we have the news. Thursday we're working on our Navigraph Academy. Then we have a VATSIM flight out of San Francisco down to Los Angeles. And then on Friday night we have another group flight. And that one is taking place down in Brazil. So we're going to be flat out. But the Starship, I need to... Like, I might fly this on VATSIM soon. Only because it's so good. Like, it is so good. But plenty of stuff to keep us going, lads, for sure. But thank you all so very much indeed for all the support, for tuning in, and for putting up with me rambling on about history and stuff. I very much appreciate it. So, as always, thank you for all the likes, subscribes, the follows, the buttons, the things, the yokes, all the shebang. Be Janey then. And we shall see you all tomorrow at 1100 Zulu. Until then, you take care. Where you can enjoy complimentary deluxe continental breakfasts daily with afternoon hors d'oeuvres and a fully stocked honour bar. Good up there. Complimentary hot and cold beverages throughout the day. Fairmount Gold combines personalised...
I'm sorry, did you just say hors d'oeuvres?
Hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres. Oh no, I made a terrible mistake. Microsoft, it's Murph. Someone clip this if you can. Do you hear the sounds? I've been blaming aircraft developers. Asobo or Microsoft need to fix this. Do you hear the noise? Outside the plane? You need to fix that, lads. It's the... where you can enjoy complimentary deluxe continental breakfasts daily with afternoon hors d'oeuvres and a fully stocked honour bar. Good up there. Complimentary hot and cold beverages throughout the day. Fairmount Gold combines personalised...
I'm sorry, did you just say hors d'oeuvres?
Hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres. Oh no, I made a terrible mistake with this, lads. Look at the state of this. Touchdown! Nicely done. Beautiful. Armin Addict inbound.